well as diagrams to my clients. Those presentations were very complicated and many of my clients did not understand what I was saying. Through the BCC program and Sanjay's teaching, I was able to apply case studies as well as concepts into my presentation to make it very simple for my clients and friends to understand. By applying what I've learned in the BCC program, I was able to achieve 1 MDRT in one case in 2021 as well as 2020. How do I do it? Many of you have been asking me on social media. Well, it really is that simple. Learning the concept presentation and case study actually helps me simplify my entire presentation. By simplifying it, I was able to look into the problems more deeply and my clients could understand them better. So gone are the complicated presentation and numbers that actually boils them. Thank you, Sanjay, for teaching us, everyone here in the BCC program, how to get it done. I'm looking forward to 2022 to learn more from you. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Portia Leung from Hong Kong. I have been in financial business for 21 years. Along this long journey, the way to run my business is almost the same every year. Production is the same, and the way to give advices to my clients are the same. I find it difficult to give a better solution to my clients, especially the high net worth one. The reason why I joined BCC program is because I was looking for a breakthrough and I want to upgrade my professionals to high net worth level. Unlike the other courses that I normally attend, BCC program really told me the strategy how to upgrade my client market to high net worth step by step. Starting from prospecting, create conversations, concept presentation, and even closing big cases. The concepts I learned are down to the earth and easy to understand. Clients always found it really inspiring and was identifying their problem more easily. I can provide the best solution to them and closing ratio has increased much. I believe one case, one MDRT is not a legend anymore and everyone can get it. Thank you, Dr. Sanjay, to provide this amazing program to build my confidence and good foundations to be the best financial planner.
I've dedicated over 20 years to perfecting these strategies and now I'm ready to share them with a select group of advisors in 2025. This is your opportunity to join an elite circle of financial professionals, learn how to close six-figure cases, and start earning the kind of commissions that will change your life.
All right. Hi, everybody. Just checking. Are we live? I think there's a little bit of a hiccup there starting. So we started a little bit late. It is now 7:18 p.m. Singapore time. Thank you again for having patience and allowing us to navigate technology so that we can, of course, give you valuable information, especially from our mentor and our leader, Dr. Sanjay Tolani. It is a new year. It is 2026 right now. So again, thank you everybody for coming down and welcome to Kickstart Financial Foundation 2026. And the keywords here is Kickstart and Foundation. It is a brand new year. Some of you have set targets. Some of you have already started working towards those targets. Some of you are waiting for Chinese New Year to end, right? But I wish you all the best for this year, and I think you guys are making the best decision right now to start with Dr. Sanjay Tolani and the other top advisors that we'll be inviting down to share with you, their strategies for this year, maybe even how they did last year as well. Right, so of course we have Dr. Sanjay Tolani, who did 1,788 MDRT just last year in 2025. that of course will be kicking the show. But then we'll have Anthony Lee, Henny Chen, Sarah Lee, Zita Wong, Suchitra, and Sui Lee later on as well. All right. So now let's all welcome our family leader and our mentor, Dr. Sanjay Tolani.
All right, guys. First of all, technology does what it does. My team's working on trying to fix that. So, would love to know where you guys are streaming in from. I don't know if you're on your YouTube, on Instagram, or on Facebook. Wherever you're from, I would love to know. Please leave a comment so it kind of pops up for me, and it's easy for me to kind of get an idea of where you guys are coming in from. I do know that everyone is trying to log in from different sessions. I'm kind of excited because, okay, no voice. Someone saying no voice. I just want to make sure that I've got that. Is this the live? Yes, it is. Fantastic. All right, guys, do tell me where you guys are from. Okay, so we've got people from Philippines. We've got from Singapore. That's awesome. Awesome. All right. Guys, this is, Facebook has not gone live yet. There's a problem with sharing the page. We're trying to do that. Guys, like I said, the team's working on it. But today, this session is actually more about making sure that you're starting correct. 2026, we are already, 45 days into the year. I want you to think about that, right? 45 days into the year, how many of you have already done your MDRT? Now, for those of you who have been in this business long enough, you know one thing for sure. We have a lot of business that overflows from last year to this year. We have a lot of people that had thought about buying last year that are going to buy this year. Now, I know Chinese New Year starts. However, that's probably the most productive time for me because during Chinese New Year, you get the opportunity to meet with people. You get the opportunity to have conversations. You get the opportunity to call every single person you know. And these festivals are actually some of the most exciting times for us to talk to people. If I had to give you the future, so before we go into what you should be doing, I want to give you a little bit of the future, what the future looks like. What are the trends that's going to happen, right? In our industry, advisors were taught to sell products, right? So if you go back 25, 30 years, you would hear this word that this is my best product. This is our company's best product. We've got a special offer. And what I realized was advisors were focusing on special offers. They were focusing on a product. They were not focusing on the plan. They were not being advisors. They were being product salespeople. And guys, as an advisor in the 21st century, we're 26 years into the 21st century. I want you all to realize that. 21st century is not about product, it's about advice. What are clients looking for? They're looking for the right structure. They're looking for stability, liquidity. They're looking for the plan. It's not about one product. It's about the plan. You're going to have other advisors working with you. And the problem is we have got this mental philosophy that I handle the insurance and you figure out the rest. So I'm going to give you a few more trends that are going to be important for you in 2026. I want you all to remember that there are other advisors that will be working with you. So wealth is becoming significantly more complex. It used to be very simple. I had cash, I had gold, and I was done. Maybe a little bit of real estate, so I have a house, one more house as an investment, and that's it. We lived in the same country. We probably born and died in the same house. That's changing. We've become significantly more global. We're traveling a lot more. We have started having cross-border holdings. So I've got assets in multiple countries. We've got clients who are doing business across countries. Cross-border has become a very important part of financial planning. It's become a very important part of what the family does. Currency has become significantly volatile. So we're talking about government debt. We're talking about what are my alternative currencies? Is Bitcoin a currency? Is it an asset? Is it something we should involve ourselves in? Is it something we shouldn't involve ourselves in? And clients are thinking this, right? That what should I be doing? It's not about the product anymore. So today, I want all of you all to think about three trends that is going to happen. I'm going to give you those trends. Number one, how do I structure my wealth properly? That's the first trend that's happening. How do I structure my wealth properly? And if you're focusing on the product without understanding the knowledge of structuring assets, you're going to lose out in 2026. The second thing that you're focusing on is AI can already compare products for clients. They don't need you anymore for comparison. AI can already do that. Maybe with a few errors, but they can still do majority of that work. So it's not about product comparison anymore. Returns are very transparent, fees are transparent, features are transparent. But what's not replaceable is clarity and confidence. Clarity is missing. People still don't know what to buy. So even with all this information available, they still don't know what to buy. And that's where an advisor's clarity and an advisor's confidence is where a client needs for making decisions. So that's the second big trend, that AI is going to make our job easy in terms of doing comparisons with fees, with features, etc. However, that's not going to create sales. I want you all to remember that. I just had the opportunity of attending a conference last week. And at that conference, we had a subject matter expert from the artificial intelligence community, someone who works actually for OpenAI. And the way he started his speech, it actually kind of made me super excited. And he started the speech by saying, please, can you leave your phones? Just leave your phones. People don't have attention spans anymore. And he said something very exciting. Screens will disappear, and you will have more wearable devices which will still do all the recording of information that you need, etc. However, we will stop using screens because it's becoming a fact. We are getting addicted. As a community, we're getting addicted. We're not having real conversations. We're not communicating. We sit across the table, we don't listen to each other, we're using our phones to make notes. And I realized if you really want to work with high net worth clients, being present is more important than having the best technology available to you. Be present. Take a paper and pen. That's what you need, a good paper and pen. So you need to replace product selling. Number three, estate planning is no longer a side conversation. Estate planning is a direct conversation. And insurance is a part of estate planning. And every client already knows that. That education has already been done. So I want all of you all to remember this, that clients understand that insurance is a part of estate planning. You cannot do estate planning without insurance. So instead of trying to promote insurance as a product, estate planning is actually better. I want you to think about that. It's really exciting to see everyone from the Philippines, from Malaysia, from Singapore. And guys, I'm so glad you're putting in those comments because I get to see every single one of you. It allows me to understand what you guys are doing. Great. We've got Jamaica as well. That's awesome, right? Today we are advisors from all across the world. There are three trends I want you to write down. Trend number one: wealth is becoming more complex. You have to simplify it. Number two: product sales is not the way forward, it's advisory. If you build plans, you will become better. And number three: estate planning is a direct conversation. Insurance is no more side conversations. And I want you all to understand these three major trends. So, what's changing and why do I keep talking about structure? Guys, when gold moves, right? The way gold and silver, when commodities move, when dollars fluctuating, we're having those conversations. Portfolios are shaking. I mean, we've had a rough start to 2026 in the markets. Clients are not looking for predictions, they're looking for clarity. They're looking for that advisor that tells them, we're in this for the long run, or we're in this for the long haul. Wait it out, be patient. It's a fact. When blood is in the streets, that's when you should be buying. And today, we are seeing that. Think about this, guys, that advisors need to understand what the structure is. It's not about the product anymore. You, I want all of you all to think about this. Can all of you all just send me a message? I mean, I would love you all to send me this message. How long have you been in the business? Right? So could you tell me how many years you've been in the business? Could you tell me which country you're from so that I know exactly where you're from? And I would want to give you country specific advice on what's happening in that country and what you can capitalize on and what is the advice you should be, or what's a conversation you should be having with your clients. I'm going to draw presentations for you. And this is the first time I've actually got a flip chart with me. So I'm actually going to sit down and draw certain presentations that are conversations for you. How do you start that conversation? So I'm actually going to show it to you. So yes, if you can, I want you all to please write down how many years you've been in the business, where you're logging in from. So it kind of gives me an idea of what I need to teach you guys. Because at the end of the day, guys, I do this. This is a free session. There's nothing that I'm earning from this. Teaching is something that I love to do. Mentoring is something that I love to do. It's not a business for me. All this money goes to charity. This is not my business. I love to teach. I love to mentor because I truly believe advisors need to mentor other advisors. That's a fact. People who are sitting down with clients, people who are, going and having those meetings every day. I'm not an agency leader. So guys, I don't know how to build an agency. I truly don't even ask me. I have zero advisors. I don't recruit. I do sales every day. I meet family offices. I meet clients. I do that every day, right? That's amazing. We've got people all the way from Curacao, so that's amazing. Mexico, that's phenomenal. Excellent. So there's one thing I realized. They're from Trinidad, there's Budapest. That we are here from all over the world, guys. We've got everyone watching all the way from the United States in the West to Hong Kong in the East, right? So we're going all the way till there. We've got a few people from China. Surprising, phenomenal, excellent. We've got 25 years from the United States. That's awesome, Gareth. Toronto, nice. As advisors, it doesn't matter which part of the world you're in. Welcome to the one very true fact in the 21st century. Your clients are global. Your knowledge has to be global. Your advice has to be global. Your network has to be global. That's what the 21st century is about. Collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. There's one word that I want you to really take away from today's session: collaborate. Learn to work with other advisors. Learn to work with other COIs. COIs are centers of influence. Lawyers, accountants, trust advisors, tax attorneys. Learn to work with a system. It's not about just sitting with a client and selling a product anymore. Those days are done. Guys, in the AI world, what truly makes you stand out is your clarity and your confidence, because that's what clients look for when they're making a major life decision. They want their advisor to be very clear of what they're saying, and they want their advisor to be very confident of their advice. You don't trust the product, don't distribute the product. You don't like the market, don't distribute that product. Guys, I want you all to remember, please be very, very sure of what you love to do. Always put yourself in the shoes of your client. Understand what your client is thinking. Help your clients to figure out what they should be doing. But please don't use the word help. And I'm going to tell you that it's a fascinating thing. While we are helping clients, don't use the word help because they don't like the word help. Psychological behavior, right? We don't like help. So stop saying the word help. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you plan your estate. I'm here to. They don't want help. Tell them the structure that I recommend. Choice of words is going to be very, very important. Foundation is what makes it extremely, extremely important. So there are going to be two types of advisors. Advisors that just react to headlines, right? And they panic. Markets are bad, they panic. Products are removed, products are changed, you panic. You're uncertain of what you want to do. Are you a reactive advisor or are you a structured advisor? What's the meaning of a structured advisor? You're focusing on making sure that the financial foundation is correct. You're positioning yourself correct. You're guiding clients rather than trying to sell a product. You're rebalancing it. You're building a long-term strategy. It's not about sales, it's about building a relationship. How can I serve you better? Not a bad start. However, I want you to think about this. Why are you asking them for permission? Don't ask for permission. If you're sitting down with someone, right? Since you're sitting down with someone, assume that you're going to give them advice. Don't ask for permission. Can I give you advice? No. Don't ask for permission. Give it. What's the worst case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? They listen, they leave, they buy from someone else. That's your worst case scenario. They listen, they leave, and they buy from someone else. That is your worst case scenario. And I promise you, if they buy from someone else, you should be happy, because a fellow advisor is not a competitor. It helps our industry become more important. If they're buying our products off our industry, that is great news. Bharat has asked this question: is support not an appropriate word? Absolutely not. Bharat, support is not a good word. Think about it. You are going to support a high net worth client. Do you think he's okay with that word? Support, help, assist. Stop using those words. These are words that psychologically make the other person feel that they are not in control. Clients love to be in control. Keep that mindset. Always keep that mindset. Clients love to be in control. So don't use the word support. Don't use the word help. Don't ask to give advice. Give it. Collaboration is a good word. Always a good word. Keep that in mind. Please do not worry about being the information giver. Clients have access to information today so quick. You say something to a client, they will verify it with ChatGPT. They'll verify it with Gemini. They'll verify it with Claude. They already have different ways to verify everything you say. So I want you all to think about this. If everything you say can be verified, you don't have to give verification anymore. You can always tell them, listen, the advice I'm giving you is the advice that is something I do for my family. Clients always like to know, what are you doing for your own family. Think about it. I always tell this to people. If I'm going to give that product to my children, if everyone in the world was giving their products, the product that they distribute is the product that they give to their children, we don't have to worry about quality control because we'll always want the best for our children. So everything that I'm asking you to buy, everything I'm asking you to do is something that I would ask my children to do as well. Quality control is easy to manage if everything that we distribute is something we are okay with our children to consume. Think about it. Everything that you consume, are you okay with your children consuming that? If the answer is no, stop consuming it. That market will automatically die. That's the power of economics. The best product will automatically survive. How? Quality control is by consumption. Consume what you want your children to consume, and you don't have to worry about quality control. Distribute what you want your children to consume, you don't have to worry about quality control. Remember these words: distribute what you want your children to consume, and you don't have to worry about quality control. That's the mindset with which I sit down with a client. Now, how many of you wish I was your financial advisor? I want you all to think about this. How many of you wish that I was your financial advisor and I could give you a global perspective on products, markets, systems, structures? And if you don't feel that when you speak to your client, that you know what, he's the guy I want as my advisor, your presentation is not correct. I want you all to always remember this. At the end of the meeting, they buy or they don't buy, as long as they feel thankful, you have achieved your mission. It's not about sales, it's about giving good advice. Get that foundation correct. Advice is your basic foundation. That foundation is what makes you successful. So, I want you all to remember this word asset structuring. The way you structure asset, it's a combination of a few things. It's about the tax structure, it's about the legal structure, how do you put the structure for legality, insurance, and legacy planning. So when we say the word legacy planning, I'm going to share something with you that I learned many, many years ago. Legacy is not accidental. You don't create legacy by accident. Legacy is intentional. Do you have the intent to leave a legacy? Legacy is not accidental. Legacy is intentional. And the day you understand that, you will want a legacy plan. So I'm going to give you two options for legacy. All right? Guys, this is for all of you. All right? I'm going to give you two options for legacy. Die with zero. I want to leave nothing for my kids. Or I want to create a legacy. Those are your two options. I want to leave nothing for my kids, or I want to leave a lot for multiple generations. I want to leave a legacy. You have to choose one of the two. You cannot say, I want both. I want to give nothing to my kids and I want to leave a legacy. That's not happening, guys. Make a decision. You want to leave nothing for your kids or you want to leave a legacy? In both scenarios, you need me. Because if you don't want to leave anything for your kids, that means you're going to overconsume. And if you're going to overconsume, I want to make sure you can consume for as long as you are alive. That's my job. That you have enough money to be able to keep consuming as long as you're alive. So we're going to come to longevity in a bit. But I want you all to think about this. If you want to leave nothing for your kids, that means you're going to overconsume. And I want to make sure that you can sustain that consumption for as long as you are alive. If you want to build a legacy, then we need a structure that matches that legacy thought. So think about this. Now, very interesting. Someone's written, without planning, it means you want to die with zero. The reality is, without planning doesn't mean you'll die with zero. It could also be that you live with zero, right? Without planning, there is a high probability that you could be living with zero, because longevity is our biggest risk in the world of non planning. How long do you think you will be alive? So, guys, let's get this correct today. So, we're going to talk about average life expectancy. I love the word average because it means nothing, but I love that word. So, all of y'all, how long do you think is average lifespan? Could you just put it in the chat box? How long do you think is average lifespan? What age do you think that is? So I want you to think about that. What do you think is average lifespan? So we've got 88, 85, 75, 80, 85, 99. Wow, I like that one. 70, 81, 70, 76. Oh my God. All right. 55. Yeah, Garrett, you're right. uh, 80, 76. Average lifespan is higher than it used to be. 100, 75, 28,000 days. It used to be. It used to be. Yeah, the book's somewhere right there. 80, 85. All right. Guys, phenomenal. What if I told you it's 150? Catherine's like, what, 55? All right. What if I told you it's 150? How do you feel if you found out today, if every single one of you that's watching today, you found out today that your average lifespan is 150? How do you feel? And be honest. Guys, truly, just be honest. Can you tell me, how do you feel? Impossible. Wow. My 99-year home lease will end. Huh? I can live till 150? Shit, I got 110 years to go. Happy? Victor says, I would feel worried. Okay. That's too long. Oh my God. Need money to live that long. If 150 would be great. Worried. Interesting. Shocked. Drained. Ah. Wow. Can you imagine? Okay, I'm going to give you one good news with this. Good news. You're going to be healthy. You're going to be healthy. So 150, healthy. I get to outlive my policy. You're right, Jimbo. Absolutely. I don't know if I can afford the diapers. I'm loving the comments, guys, but I want all of you all to think about this. 150-year life might become reality very, very soon. For the first time, I've actually seen an insurance company issue a contract with no maturity date. So it can pretty much go on forever. We've already seen that. You have to remember, insurance companies react to longevity. If you go back 100 years, insurance policies finished at the age of 65. They increased it from 65 to 70. They increased it from 70 to 75. They increased from 75 to 95. They increased from 95 to 100. And it stayed at 100 for quite a while. And then suddenly you saw contracts going to 120. And then I saw contracts going to 138. I remember seeing a whole life contract going up to 138. And then recently, about 10 years ago, myself, We built the world's first perpetual annuity. It just goes on from you to your kids to your grandkids, and it just keeps going on. And that was the first time we saw insurance companies being okay with issuing a contract that can go on for um, multiple generations, not just one. Why is this important information? I want you to remember the insurance industry reacts to longevity risk, extremely sensitive to longevity risk. We are the first industry that reacts to longevity risk. We don't have actuarial tables above 100. So that's why if you look at any contract or any whole of life product that goes above the age of 100, there is no cost of insurance after the age of 100. We don't have actuarial tables for this longevity. And that's becoming our problem. We don't know how to price for people who are going to live, or we're going to have multiple sentinels in the world. I want you all to think about this. It's a phenomenal strategy that's going to happen. So, guys, you're going to have a very, very long life. Stop thinking 75, stop thinking 80, and now even stop thinking 100. I want you all to start thinking 150. Start thinking. It's going to be average. That's going to be average. I want you all to think about that. Clara asked a question. Is this because the health industry is going to get better and better? Not really, Clara. The reality is we are finding out many different ways to stay alive. We're going to have new illnesses. I'm not saying we're not going to have. We're going to have new illnesses. We're going to have new cancers. We're going to have new types of things that will probably bother us. However, we will also have quicker treatments. We're going to have good access to vaccines that we didn't have access to. We're going to have access to healthcare that we didn't have access to. The cost of healthcare will start to drop. I'm giving you an interesting prediction. The cost of healthcare is going to start to drop because we will have access to a lot more competitive strategies given the technology that will be available to us. Now, if you're a rookie today, what should you be doing? Clients don't buy insurance, they invest in a strategy. Mary just said something. My husband's grandfather died at the age of 110. Congratulations. That's a great life. You've lived a great life. So, guys, there is a shift that I want in your mindset, right? And that shift is making sure your foundation is strong today. What is the meaning of the word foundation? The way you do prospecting, the way you hold conversations, that is your foundation. That's what I want to be focusing on today. So there are 6 things that I want to talk today about, right? I'm going to talk about certain winning presentation, the presentation that I do. What are the different types of income? What are the questions you should be asking? What are the rules of thumb? What are the products? Type of asset classes and the different sources of income. So before we continue, how many of you have watched my videos on different presentations? How many of you have watched my videos on different presentations? If you could just say, I have. Okay, Gurdeep says me. Fantastic. Guys, I'm just trying to make sure that I can just see all the comments, so it's easy for me to talk to you guys as well. Okay, so we have had great. All right, so I'm going to show you a few presentations, right? So we're going to oops. All right. So I'm going to give you real life presentations right now. Presentations that I've basically done all my life. And the reason why I'm sharing these presentations with you is I want you all to understand that when I'm doing these presentations, I use a paper and pen. I could use PowerPoint, I could be using screen share right now and all of that. And I'm literally telling you, I'm using a paper and pen, that even when I'm doing it virtually, I'm actually telling you that I'm using paper and pen. Guys, it's the best strategy, having a paper and having a pen so that you can have a real conversation rather than, sharing a screen using an iPad. Technology is distracting. Do you realize how distracted you get every time you use your own iPad, you use your own phone, you get distracted yourself? And you don't think your clients will be getting distracted? Paper and pen. It helps you keep the conversation focused. So, paper and pen always works. Now, the way you start conversations is very important. And I always love to start a conversation with a presentation or a case study. So I'm going to start one with one of my favorite case studies. I love these case studies because I actually just did a seminar, and it was a family office summit. So it was a summit with all different family office members, and in that summit, the way I started my presentation was, I'm going to give you a real case study, and then you tell me what would you like to do. All right? Can everyone see the board? If you can't, just be a little patient and hear me carefully, because that's what's most important. All right? A grandfather started a business. Okay? Are we able to see that? Okay. A grandfather started a business. He has two sons, A and B. All right? He's got two sons, A and B. Now, A has two sons, A1, A2, and B has one son, B1. All right? Okay. There we go. So, grandfather has two sons, A and B. He's got two grandkids from A and one grandchild from B. Perfect? Okay, let me try to see if I can even zoom in a little bit. Okay, we zoom in. Oops, my bad. Perfect. Cutting my face now. That's okay. Not important. All right. Grandfather, two kids, and he's got three grandkids. Now I'm going to ask you this very simple question. Let's say the grandfather has a business which is worth $10 million. Right? How much does A and B get? How much does A and B get? 5 and 5, right? Yes, it's inverted. Okay. I don't know how to correct for that, but follow my words. Thank you. Right? So A and B will get 5 and 5. How much does A1 and A2 get? All right. So now I want to think grandkids. How much will A1 and A2 get? So A and B get 5 and 5. How much does A1 and A2 get? And how much does B1 get? You remember the three grandkids. 2.5, 2.5. Okay. And B1 gets 5. Do you think A1 is happy? So I'm going to give you a real case study, right? This is an actual case. This is a case out of Thailand. I was sitting with a family. Grandfather started the business. He's got two sons. Both the sons get 5, 5. But A has two sons and B has got one son. So A1 is actually my classmate. And he said, Sanjay, how much do I get? I mean, do I get 2.5? Do I get 5? How much do I get? And I said, bro, I don't know. Ask your dad. I'm not your father. True or not? I'm not your father. Ask your dad. And he's like, are you crazy? I'm never going to ask my dad. So I said, what do you want me to do? He said, you're my advisor. You ask. So he introduced me to Uncle A and Uncle B, and I said, Uncle, no one has asked this question, but somebody will ask this question. Who gets how much? And literally in a span of 2 seconds, Uncle B said, our children will get our shares. What was he trying to say? My kid gets my share, my brother's kids get his shares. And that was literally the answer. And that's when I realized something very important. Even if I give him 3.3, and he gets 5, they will still not be happy. They actually all want 5, 5, 5. Now, how many 5s do we have? We have 1 5 and we have a second 5. And that's reality. We still need a plus 5. That's where our problem starts. We still need a plus 5. So it doesn't matter what structure. You could put the best trust, you could put the best strategy, you could have the best trustees, you could have the best investment strategy, you could do all of that, and you will still have a dispute in the family because they are not getting what they feel they desire and what they feel they should be getting. B wants 5, he will not accept 3.3. A2 and A1 want 5 and 5. They will not accept 3.3 if one brother is getting 5. So they actually all need 5. And the only way to solve this problem is insurance, because you need $5 million to satisfy all. Now I'm going to give you even something more funny. The grandfather is still alive. A and B have received nothing yet. And A1 is worried about his inheritance. This is what we call the hypothetical inheritance problem. Hypothetically, they are inheriting, and therefore they feel disappointed if they don't get it. Guys, this presentation alone has probably been one of my top presentations, and it's helped me do so much work because it's unbelievable. So, why am I sharing this with you? Okay. Why am I sharing this strategy with you? Because I realized as advisors, we need someone to tell us what should be that strategy. I want all of you to think about this. What's the presentation that you're going to use? What's the presentation that you focus on? Now, if you don't have a paper and pen, what's the presentation that you should be doing? Mentally, think about what the conversation will hold. I've already given most of these answers on YouTube. You have these presentations on YouTube. So the flow of water presentation, it's actually one of my favorite presentations, because the flow of water allows you to have a discussion about legacy. It allows you to have a discussion about structure. If you're talking to a young family, the trees and root presentation is great. By the way, I just did a session. All right, Kim has asked this question. Can you tell me, if we start with the question, have you done a will? Will that work? Not at all. Doesn't work. Because if they say yes, you don't know how to take that conversation forward. If they say no, you're now focusing on writing a will rather than doing estate planning. Guys, I want you all to remember this. That question actually does not lead in the direction you like. So please don't ask that question, Kim. Have you done a will? Doesn't work. I've tried it, and the reason why it doesn't work is because you're going in the wrong direction. Yeah, it's called the flow of water. The flow of water presentation. By the way, guys, if you do scan the QR code to download the PDF notes, there is a page which covers all the major presentations that you can use. So you can scan the QR code and get the PDF for today's presentation, which will help you with that. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that I can see everyone's comments, so just give me a second. Okay, perfect. So Kim, no, I don't use that session. I don't use that structure, because I realize that when I've asked that question, have you got a plan? Have you got a trust? Have you got a will? I realized I'm going down the route of talking legal conversations where you might not be a qualified lawyer, and that's usually a lawyer's job. I like to talk about the plan, right? Now, if a trust is a part of it, a will is a part of it, it's part of the plan. I always talk about the plan first, and then we talk about the elements in a plan. Um, so we need to provide a plan that would raise. So Louis has asked this question. So we need to provide a plan that should raise another 5 million. No, Louis, we just need life insurance to solve that problem. We need $5 million of life insurance. The whiteboard image is reversed. So yeah, apologies for that. But guys, the whole point that I wanted to talk about was I don't use PowerPoint. I don't use iPads. I use a paper and pen. And that's what I was trying to prove, that even when I'm doing a virtual meeting, I don't like to use PowerPoints. I don't like to use presentations. I like to use paper and pen because I truly believe it's a lot more personal. The tree and root presentation is my favorite one because it's simple, it's easy. And I always start the presentation by saying, when you look at a tree looks strong because its roots are strong. Now, if you cut the tree, but the roots are still there, the tree will grow back because that's the power. If you cut the tree, but the roots are still there, the tree will grow back. But if the roots are destroyed, the tallest trees will fall down. So if the roots get rotten, the tallest trees will just fall down. Now, the tree represents your assets and the roots represent your income. This was a conversation that I had at a family office conference last week. And if you are on my social media, if you're on Instagram, you will see that presentation is on the whiteboard. So I was speaking at a conference of family offices. There were about 200 family offices that were attending that session. And I was a speaker for them on succession and inheritance. And I had a whiteboard on stage and I did the tree and root presentation. And if you're on Instagram, you will see that I've used exactly this presentation as well as the tree and root presentation in that same speech, where I was talking about how do you plan for the family. Now, Samir has asked a very interesting question. What if the person is not healthy? What if the person is not healthy? Well, first of all, bad luck. But we always ensure the healthiest person in that generation. It could be the wife. It doesn't have to be the husband. It could be the wife. It doesn't have to be the wife. It could be the husband. So I want you all to think about this. Same presentation, and I'm doing this at family office levels. I'm doing this for retail clients. So if you're working mass market, presentation works. If you're working with high net worth clients, the presentation works. Think about that. You see, everyone's now going into the details. Who should be the proposer? Who should be the policy owner? Who should be the insured person? How do you pay the premium? These are all problems that we can solve. But first, are they even interested? And once they're interested, we can solve all those problems. That's the beauty about having a good conversation. You're now creating interest, which has problems, and then you solve those problems, and then it goes to a close. That's why we call it financial foundation today. Because once you've done the presentation, there is interest. That interest could generate questions, problems, objections. That's amazing. That is great. Because as soon as you're getting objections, you're getting problems, you know that they're now interested that if I can solve those problems, my next step is closing. But if you're not getting objections, it doesn't work. So Noor has said something. Clients can afford to buy the life insurance, but they refuse to buy. Noor, the reason is your presentation doesn't excite them. I want you all to think about, is my presentation exciting? Is my voice, is my tonality exciting? I do the same presentation again and again and again with the same level of energy and the same level of excitement. And a lot of people don't realize that. So heroes, I've simplified my introduction. My advice revolves around protecting your income for your family, creating perpetual income for yourself, and making sure that that income continues for your family. Does that work, or do I sharpen it further? That works great, right? Uh, but I want you to remember, if you club that introduction with a real presentation, a case study, it becomes a lot more powerful. So my advice revolves around protecting your income for your family, creating perpetual income for yourself, and making sure that income continues for your family. Great presentation, great words. Do it with a presentation. You will have it a lot more in terms of impact, in terms of actual, I would say, convertibility, right? It would convert into a lot more sales. So the tree and root presentation, Marilyn has asked a question. How do you handle rejections? So I'm going to tell you the difference between rejection and objection. Rejection is where they say, no, I don't want to do it, right? Guys, no, I don't want to do it is a great closure. It's a great closure because now you know you have done your job. They're not interested. Move on. You cannot, okay? And I tell this to all the people that I meet. They are your kids. It's your family. It's your business. If you don't care, nobody else does. I don't. They're not my kids. They're your kids, your business, your family. If you don't care, who am I to care? I don't. My kids, I can tell you my plan. My business, I can tell you my plan. My family, I can tell you my plan. They're your kids. So, rejection is something that I love because now I've got closure. It's the objections that you should be preparing for. Objections like, I want to think about it. I need to ask my wife. I want to compare products. How do I know you're the best advisor? Those are objections. I love objections because objection means that I want a little bit more clarity, or I want someone else to look at it before I make a decision. That's an objection. I'm happy with that. And I love objections because, again, objections have a process. Write this down, guys. If you're listening to me for the first time, write this down. Objections is a 4-step process. Step number 1, acknowledge the objection. Don't throw it away. Don't disregard it. When a client is giving an objection, acknowledge it and make sure that you say the words, I understand. Please learn to put yourself in your client's shoes. Stop challenging everything they say. So if they tell you, oh, I need to ask my wife. Why do you need to ask your wife? Hello? He wants to ask his wife. Who are you to say no? Oh, I need to ask my father. Great. Why do you need to ask your father? Are you not old enough? Stop saying those words, right? Stop challenging your clients. If they have a belief system, right? They have a process themselves. Don't challenge their process. Let them have that process. Remember one thing, the longer they take, the more money you make. The longer they take, the more money you make. Always remember this. Because the longer they take, premiums will increase. Premiums increase, you get more commission. Why are you in a hurry? I'll tell you why you're in a hurry. You only have one client. That's the reason why you're so scared. Because you only have one client. The longer they take, the more money you make. Always remember this. Don't be in a hurry. Don't challenge, because a lot of clients think that if they buy today, right, it's better for you. On the contrary, I tell my clients, please take your time. Ask whoever you want. Ask your neighbor, ask your uncle, ask your family. If you want to ask your plumber, you want to ask your electrician, go ahead. Please ask whoever you like because it's a life decision. I'm okay with that. But let me ask you this question. Have you met anyone? I've never met a single woman in the world that has told her husband, don't protect me, don't protect our future, don't protect our kids. Because every time I sit down with a wife, she usually tells me, Sanjay, I wish we had more. I've never seen a wife say, buy less. I've always seen a wife look at the proposal and say, I think we need a little bit more. And what usually happens is you end up going out of budget. So why don't I recommend you something? Why don't you buy it as a gift? Give it to her and tell her, darling, I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. That's my gift to you. And if she says, why is it so little? Tell her, I'm sorry, I'll buy some more next year. Guys, remember one thing. Your job is to educate. Your job is not just sales. Your job is to educate. And I want you all to think about this. Educate your clients. Educate families. Educate business owners. Don't be scared about having meetings. First of all, stop looking for appointments, because the biggest mistake we do is you're looking for appointments. What is the difference between meeting someone and having an appointment with someone? So let's get that fundamental difference out of the way. What is the difference between having an appointment with someone and meeting with someone? What's the difference? An appointment comes with an agenda. A meeting is casual. An appointment comes with an agenda, and a meeting is casual. Learn to have meetings. Stop trying to have appointments. Because you have to remember, insurance is not a priority. Nobody wakes up in the morning saying, you know what, I think I will die today. No one wakes up in the morning and says, you know what, I think I will fall sick today. No one wakes up in the morning and says, you know what, I think I'll turn 65 and I need to think about planning for my retirement. Guys, nobody wakes up thinking like that. And if they do, that means something is already wrong, right? If you have a client suddenly calling you and saying, you know what, I think I need to plan for my life insurance. My first question is, why? What changed? Oh, I got my health check done and we were a little borderline on my cholesterol. I was a little borderline on my glucose levels. One of my uncles, someone in my family was diagnosed with cancer. Something went wrong. And this is what we call life moments. I've actually written a whole book on that. It's called the Prospecting Playbook. And I've written in that clients don't buy when you call, clients buy when life calls. uh, it's actually the title of the book is Clients Don't Buy When You Call, but clients usually buy when life calls. When life calls on them to have more responsibility, suddenly insurance is a priority. When they change their jobs, they change their location, their marital status, they have a child, they become the breadwinner of the family. That's when insurance starts to become a priority. Now, your job is to be present at that point of time. And how the hell do you know when is that time? So I'm going to teach you a strategy. You need a CRM, right? It could be an Excel sheet, it could be a database, it could be a software, it doesn't matter. You need a structure to monitor people's life changes. Are they getting a new job? Are they changing career? Are they getting married? Do they have children? Keep a track of that. Clients don't buy insurance when you call, clients buy insurance when life calls. You're going to be in this business for a very long time. You're not going to be in this business for 1 year and then going to disappear, right? You're going to be in this business for a long time. I've been in this business for 25 years. This is my 25th year, 26th year in the business, right? In 26 years, there's one thing I learned. The longer you stay, the more credible you become. The more focused you are, the more credible you become. The more interactive you are with your friends, circles, with your clients, with your network, the more credible you become. The better your conversation is, the more credible you become. Advice, 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 without having to worry about objectives or consequences or results. I want you to focus on giving advice, 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 advice. Because once you have given advice, it will convert to results. Because the only gap between advice and results is one word: closing. And what is that closing? Is showing them a solution that solves the problem that came out from your advice. That's your job. It's their children, their family, their business. Always remember this. It's not your problem. If they don't care, you cannot change it. Stop trying to change what people think. Stop trying to change that. Your job is to give advice. So, Kim does something which is what we call networking. Kim, that's a great strategy for prospecting. So, she's written down that I have clients who fly down, and when they fly down, I have a networking session for them, and I bring my friends, and they can bring their friends. And we end up having a networking event. Absolutely beautiful. I have a networking event day after tomorrow in my house. I mean, right here, I have about 20 families that are going to be coming in, and we're going to be discussing business strategies. What's the plan for 2026? What are the trends? What are the challenges we're going to face in 2026? What are the new technologies we should be adopting in our businesses? And we've got all business owners coming in, where we are discussing what's the plan for 2026. Great strategy, right? It's a networking event. So I want you all to think about this. Again, let's come back to concepts. I love my father's presentation. So if you haven't seen my father's presentation, by the way, just for you to know this, I'm third generation in this business, right? Third generation MDRT now. By the way, I've now got 24 years of MDRT membership. And I want you all to think about this, that my family has been doing this for 3 generations. This is a generational business. If you put the right foundations in place today, this can be a generational business for you and your family as well. It's a beautiful business because it allows you to work with multiple generations. Can you imagine sitting down with the grandfather of a family and saying, I'm a third generation advisor. And as a third generation advisor, I can tell you what we have seen changing across the years. For example, I met a family, right? A family office. They don't buy real estate. And I asked them, I'm like, that's very unusual because a lot of family offices buy a lot of real estate. And they said, Sanjay, we did an analysis of our family office and we realized when World War I happened, we lost money in real estate. Our land was confiscated. Partition of India and Pakistan, we lost real estate. We left our land in Pakistan and moved to India. We lost real estate. We were in Africa after that. Our lands got confiscated by the government. We lost in real estate. And we realized maybe for one generation, real estate is a good asset. But if I'm planning for multiple generations, geopolitics becomes one of our biggest concerns. And real estate is not a very good geopolitical asset. So in our family office, we don't hold real estate. And I'm like, very interesting. Then I met another family office, phenomenal strategy, right? So these guys were telling me, Sanjay, we have already made it. We are already rich. What should be our strategy? Our strategy is not to make more. Our strategy is preservation. We don't want to lose what we have made. And I learned this from a 13th generation. So I'm actually telling you this. I learned this from a 13th generation family office. They've been going for 13 generations. And I learned this from them. I learned this from this family office that has been going for 13 generations. What I learned from them was, how do you keep the family together? How do you teach your children the value of money? And she said something very interesting to me. She said, Sanjay, you cannot. And I said, what do you mean I cannot? She said, Sanjay, you cannot teach them the values. You have to show them the values. Why don't you put it up on the walls? Why didn't you put it up on the wall? And when the children are going up and down the hallway, they will read it. And one day they might ask you, what does that mean? How do you embody that? And that's what we have done now. We have actually put it up on the walls in our house. We put up the values on the walls. Great strategy. I met another family office, been going on for about 8 generations. Um, and I asked them, how do you continue to build wealth? And she said, Sanjay, investments will just help you beat inflation. But if you really want to create new wealth, it comes from operating businesses. But not every generation is a good operator. So they don't know how to run an operating business. So what we realized is we look at our burn rate. Burn rate is the total amount of money you spend in a year. And we divide that with our net worth, right? So the amount of money you spend every year, you divide that with your net worth. And if that number is 100 years or more, we don't worry about rate of return. We worry about who's going to be the next operator in the family. Because if we have 100 years to figure it out, we're not trying to create new wealth. We're just making sure that we've got somebody in the next 100 years or 200 years who can potentially become a good operator. So we focus on entrepreneurship, we focus on innovation, we focus on. So that's the fun part. Guys, I have some of the most amazing conversations with my clients. Now, whether you're mass market or whether you're working high net worth market, it's the conversation that lead in the right direction. And that's what I want you all to know, that whenever I'm speaking to my mentees, right? So when I'm talking in the Big Case Closer program, everything that I do in the Big Case Closer program is focusing on not just big cases, but having bigger value that you're giving to your clients. You're getting bigger value from the relationships that your clients have. How do you get recommended to other families? You see, when I give advice to one family, they recommended me to another. When they recommend me to another, they recommend me to another. And I get recommended across the world. So I have clients all the way from people in the United States to people in Japan, right? So we've got clients all across the world. Why? It's not because I have the best product. It's because I'm extremely clear on what I do, and I have the confidence because of my background. So, guys, if you don't have the confidence or the clarity, your job is to find that confidence and clarity. Your job is to work with advisors that are confident and clear. So, think about that. Who's on your team, right? How many lawyers do you have on your team? How many accountants do you have on the team? Who's on your team? I want you to think about that. Now, I want you to think about the two types of income. There are only two types of income in the world: guaranteed and variable, right? Guaranteed and variable. So I'm going to give you a mindset that a lot of people that don't have. If your income is guaranteed, your investments should be variable. And if your income is variable, your investments should be guaranteed. Hear me very carefully. If your income is guaranteed, that means you're getting your salary on a regular basis. You've been getting it for the last 5, 6, 7, 10 years. That means your income is pretty guaranteed. You've been doing this, you've been consistently getting that income. And even if you lose your job, you can potentially get another job in another maybe 6 or 9 months with maybe a 20, 15% rate cut, but you can still get that back. So if you've been consistently in a job and you've been getting consistent income, so your income is quite consistent, your investments should be risky, or what we call variable. But if your income is variable, right, like a business owner, your markets fluctuate. Sometimes it's a great month, sometimes it's a horrible month. You have a cyclical income strategy. Your investments should be guaranteed. You should not be taking risk with your investments. The problem is, I see people who are getting very stable income, doing very stable investments, right? So they don't take risk with their money. And I see people who have got very risky investments also doing very risky income. So their income fluctuates and they still take a lot of risk with their investment. And the reason is personality. So I'm going to tell you something about personality. An employee mindset is what we call, I'm looking for stability. So the investments are looking for stability. And an entrepreneur, he is looking for risk. So his income is risky, his investments are risky, because that's what makes him excited, right? So I spend time with my clients and I say, guys, if your income is is stable, your investment should be risky. And if your income is risky, then your investments should be stable. And I want you all to think about answering these 5 questions. Who is it for? Right? Who is it for? Is it for you? Is it for your family? If it's for you, do you want it guaranteed or variable? If it's for your family, do you want it guaranteed or variable? Think about it. Age plays a criteria when it comes to risk, how much risk you should take. Now, a lot of people say the younger you are, the higher risk you should take, and the older you are, the lesser risk you should take. I kind of disagree with that. Um, yes, it's what we call the life cycle hypothesis. It's financial theory that says that when you're young, you should take risk, and when you're old, you should take lesser risk. I think there's a combination because that comes with a few assumptions. There's a combination. If you're young and you're taking risk with your career, you're taking risk with your family, you're taking risk with who you're getting married to, you're taking risk in life, right? You're doing a startup. Your investment should actually be secured because you should not be getting distracted by your investments. You should be focusing on your career, your family, your growth in your life, because, anyways, you don't have a lot of money to worry about. So, I want you all to remember this, that I know the life cycle hypothesis says that take risk when you're young. The problem is they get distracted by that risk and they lose focus on their life, which is where they should be taking risk with their career. They're trying new jobs, they're trying to find the right place to be. Their investments should be quite secure. However, when you get older and now you're close to retirement, you have a lot of money, you've become successful, right? And that's when I call what's your ability to recover from a loss. And you're like, Sanjay, I have a money that's what I call a play fund, money that I want to play with, right? I want to take risk with that money. It's what we call a play fund. It's not all your money. So you have to remember, as you get older, your adrenaline rush comes from investment. So I sit down with quite a few older family members and they tell me, Sanjay, I love to take risk because now I can. I have money. I have money that I can take risk with. So I always tell them, you need what we call an adrenaline rush. So we create a fund, it's called a play fund with which we take risk, but there is a fund that we create an income out of. So I want you all to remember, it's always good to have a combination of guaranteed and variable. Um, and it's not necessary that just because you're young, you should be taking risk, and just because you're old, you shouldn't be taking risk. Don't worry about that. That's a life cycle hypothesis, which has got a lot of assumptions. You have to remember, financial theory comes with assumptions, right? I've done my PhD in finance. I'm not a medical doctor, so I know my name is Dr. Sanjay, but I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a PhD in something called behavioral finance. With behavioral finance, there's one thing I've learned. All financial theories come with assumptions, and not all assumptions are applicable to our clients. So, financial theory has this assumption: asset accumulation, asset preservation, asset distribution. All right, write this down: asset accumulation, asset preservation, asset distribution. And I realized it's only good for one generation, because as soon as you distribute the assets get divided and there's nothing left. It's what we call the third generation syndrome. The first generation starts it, the second one manages it, and the third one, is it the word destroy it? What does the third generation do, guys? I want you to think about that. A lot of people say that the third generation destroys it. It's not true. The third generation divides it. They divide that wealth. And that's what truly happens. No, they don't splurge it, Hiral. I wish they splurged it. They don't. They actually divide the wealth because they don't agree on the way it was divided. I wish they enjoyed it. So, I want you all to think about this. I want you to think about it. I changed the financial theory a little bit. I went from asset accumulation, asset preservation, asset distribution. I now talk about income accumulation because your lifestyle is only based on one thing, right? Let me draw this for you as well. Give me a sec. All right, let me draw this for you. Let me zoom this in. All right. Your income, all right? I want you to think about this. We've got three things that are we call the necessities of life. Food, clothing, and shelter, right? Food, clothing, and shelter. Food, clothing, and shelter. There's only one variable that affects food, clothing, and shelter, and that is your income. Wait a second, I got a better idea. All right. I'm going to try and get a new pen. So food, clothing, shelter, there's one variable that affects your food, clothing, and shelter, and that's your income. Your income decides the kind of food you eat, your income decides the kind of clothes you wear, and your income decides the kind of house you live in. And I want you all to think about this. It's your income that decides the house, the clothes, and the food you eat. So it's your income, it's not your assets. All right? It's your income, not your assets. So focus on income accumulation, income preservation, and income distribution. Your income, okay, income accumulation, think about it. I want more and more income. That's what we're really looking for, is more and more income. Income preservation. There is only one product in the world that preserves your income. What is that product? It's insurance. You see, there is no other product that preserves your income. Think about that. Insurance is the only product that focuses on income preservation. Income preservation in case of death, income preservation in case of illness, income preservation in case of old age. We are the only industry that focuses on income preservation. And the third one is income distribution. What would you like to give your children? $10 million as a lump sum or $1 million every year for the rest of their life? Think about it. Okay, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Not $1 million, but sorry, 10 million right now or $500,000 every year for the rest of their life. Now, Mona has asked a very interesting question. What can we say to clients who are into trading as their investment? Clients who say it's better investment in trading and crypto because their yields are higher than insurance than investments. Mona, that's their business, right? And I always tell them, you're great at trading. Who continues that trading after you? I always tell this to my family. I am great at investments, but after me, who continues that investment philosophy? Who's going to continue managing that money? Who's going to continue trading the investment market, the crypto market? Who's going to continue that trade? And therefore, there is insurance, because insurance basically crystallizes the value of your investments. So you're not buying insurance for the rate of return. You're buying insurance as a replacement to you as a trader. So I will treat you as what we call key man insurance. You're my key man risk. My company has a great rate of return with your trading skills. However, once you're not there, my trading skills disappear and I need key protection, key man protection to protect that. So Mona, that's how you handle that. How do you explain insurance to a young individual? Because insurance is not important to them. Navneet has asked that question. Navneet, let me answer that question very quickly for you. If you're not married and you have no dependents, you actually don't need life insurance. I mean, seriously, if you die, who cares? Think about it. You have no dependents, you don't have a family. Who cares if you die? So you don't need life insurance. But I'll tell you what you definitely need. You need a fantastic critical illness plan, right? Something that protects your income. So you need a great income protection plan, because truly, if something happens to you, you fall sick, nobody cares either, right? And you need a fantastic retirement plan. Think about that, because your retirement plan is the only thing that actually gives you a backup, since you have no family, you have no dependents, you've got no one that's probably going to take care of you. So you need a great retirement plan and you need a great income protection or critical illness plan. That's it. You don't need life insurance. You die, nobody cares. Let's move on. Guys, remember one thing, your job's to give great advice, not sales. And that helps you. That's how you do it. All right. Guaranteed and variable. Which products work for that? Let's talk about that. Which products provide guaranteed income, guys? Yeah. Which product gives you guaranteed income? There are very few products that do. You've got endowments, you've got annuities. Those are the products that pretty much give you guaranteed income. Which product give you variable income? You have got IULs, Index Universal Lives. You've got VULs. You've got ILPs, ULIPs. Those are the products that give you variable income, right? So I want you all to remember that. We've got products on both sides. Which concepts? I've just given you a few concepts. I want all of you all to think about this, that insurance is a beautiful product. It's how you use it that's what makes you successful. The way you use the insurance product is what makes you successful. And I realized, when I joined this business many years ago, I was told that I need to do need-based analysis. And I realized, first of all, nobody knows what they need. Number two, nobody tells you the truth. They keep lying, right? So you ask women their age, it's always -10. You ask a man his income, it's always multiplied by 2. They never give you the real numbers. They don't give you real data. And because they don't give you the right data, you can't give them real advice. So you have to come up with a solution, or you have to ask questions that are easy for them to answer and take it from there. So I realized there are 3 questions that I need to ask that will help me give good advice. So guys, I'm actually going to give you those 3 questions, right? Those 3 questions are in the financial planning playbook. I don't think I have a copy here. No, I don't have a copy here, but you can download it for free, right? You can download it for free. If you have the PDF, in the PDF, I've put the link for you to download the book for free. Guys, it's a gift from me to you. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone, right? This is a gift for every single one of you. You can download the book. There are 3 questions that I've written in that book. It's called the insurance graph. It's right in the middle of the book. And it's called the insurance graph. There are 3 questions I need you to answer. Are you married? That's the first question. The second question is, do you have an income? And the third question is, do you have dependents? That's it. If you answer these 3 questions, I can actually give you advice. Are you married? Do you have an income? And do you have children or dependents? That's it. 3 questions. And if the answer is yes, 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 no, 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 there are only 8 clients. There are 8 type of clients, right, that you would fit into. It's what we call A to H. So you're going to fall in one of those categories. And I've written the advice for that person. So if you're married, yes. Do you have income? Yes. Do you have dependents? Yes. So that's a yes, yes, yes. You fall in the A category. And I've written the advice that is valid for anyone that falls in that category. Now, are you married? Yes. Do you have an income? Yes. Do you have dependents? No. Okay. So you fall in the C category, right? So I've actually put it down. You can download it. It's in the PDF. Just download the PDF. There is a link in that PDF. Just click on that link. You'll get that book for free. It's a gift for every single one of you. I truly want every single advisor that's watching today. I want you all to become successful. Guys, I want every single advisor that's watching today to become the best version of themselves in 2026. I truly believe that we are a phenomenal profession that does not get the recognition that we deserve. And I want to change that. I truly want to change that, but I can't do it alone. We have to do it together, right? So I'm really working to make sure that every single one of you, all my mentees, every single one of you that's watching into today's program appreciates our profession and you learn to enjoy this profession because, guys, it's a beautiful profession. I've done this for 25 years. This is my 26th year in the business, and I can tell you, I cannot get enough. Happy Valentine's Day to every single one of you. I want every single one of you to have the most amazing 2026. Let's truly do it together. And whenever you see me, anywhere you see me, come and say hi. I would love to say hi to you. It's an absolute pleasure to meet other advisors. If you're ever in Dubai, do find us. I'm very easy to find, not difficult. Please do come and find us. Would love to host you, would love to take you out. If I'm in the country, I would love to. The link is in the PDF, right? Now, guys, I do need to take a break. Let's take a short break because after this break, I do want my mentees, some of my top advisors, they are in the Big Case Closer program with me, and I asked them, guys, a lot of people think that Sanjay, your clients are up there, and you do what you do. What do we do? So, guys, I'm going to get 6 of my top advisors. These are great mentees of mine. They're from all over the world, from Singapore, from Malaysia, from Hong Kong, from Thailand. So they're all going to be there. There's 6 of them that are coming in. And I want them to share with you what they plan to do for 2026. So let's take a quick break and come back from that. And I want all of you all till then, download the book so that you have access to all that data. Download the PDF so you've got access to all the notes that I'm sharing with you. And guys, remember one thing, today's session is for you. It's to make sure that every single one of you gets the best strategy for 2026. If you do have questions, please do send them across. I would love to answer your questions. I truly want every single one of you to have a beautiful 2026. Let's really make this year special, and we can do it together, right? So let's be very practical about that, and we're gonna have all those discussions. All right. So a quick break, and we'll be back.
All right, thank you, Dr. Sanjay. And yes, thanks everybody. Again, if you're interested to get the financial planning playbook, first download the PDF notes for today and then go to page 29. So in page 29, there's another QR code for you to get the financial planning playbook, and that's available there. And I have a few announcements actually. So first and foremost, there is the Asset Structuring Club. That's happening. Actually, the next session is in March. Okay, so the Asset Structuring Club is a yearly membership, includes 5 online sessions throughout the year. It's designed to help you stay consistent, relevant, and continuously improve your advisory practice. As I mentioned, the next one is happening in March, where Dr. Sanjay will be talking about 30 high net worth prospecting triggers. Okay, so these are practical situations and conversation opportunities you can use to identify and engage potential high net worth clients. That's the first one. Second one is Advisor X7. This is Sanjay Tolani in AI form. Pretty much if you can consider downloading Dr. Sanjay's brain and now getting access to him on demand, his words, his style, his tone, his cadence. That's what Advisor X7 is going to be all about. You can also find out more about it in the PDF notes. There's another QR code for you to scan through for that one. And last but not least is the Big Case Closer Mastermind sessions. There's going to be 2 sessions coming very soon. The first one is happening in Dubai on the 1st and 2nd of March. This is a 2-day session, right? The next one's happening in Singapore on the 7th and 8th of March. This is a closed door session with the BCC family. So if you're already part of BCC, this is a reminder. If you're not yet part of BCC, Big Case Closer, and you want to be, you want to join and be part of this session, do reach out to Dr. Sanjay's team as well. All right. There's a little bit of wait list, and it's also going to be an interview for you. Not everybody that wants to join BCC is allowed to. So if you are really interested and you really want to find breakthroughs for your business, consider joining BCC and then joining the sessions in Dubai and Singapore. Again, that's Dubai 1st and 2nd March and Singapore 7th and 8th of March. All right. Last but not least, there's going to be actually books available for you to purchase. We have a book bundle. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 books: the Estate Planning Playbook, Concept Presentation Playbook, Financial Planning Playbook, and the Perfect Mindset Playbook in blue. That's for $119 if you're interested to get that. These are hard copy books and get them shipped to you. Go to mentor.sanjaytolani.com/bundle order forms for $119. All right, so if you're interested in getting those books shipped to you, hard copy books, go to, again, mentor.sanjaytolani.com/bundle order forms. All right, so we're just about halfway through, actually. There's going to be a lot more information for you guys. Next would be Dr. Sanjay's mentees joining the session very, very soon. All right, so we'll take another break. We'll be back in about 10 or so minutes time. So we'll see you shortly. Thank you.
All right. Guys, I do want to introduce the panelists that are coming in. Like I said, I've got a few mentees of mine that I truly, truly admire. They do a great job, and I did want them to all be here. By the way, if you have not yet downloaded the notes of today, I would recommend you to download it. There's a lot of things that I've put in there for you. Every single one of you gets access to the financial planning playbook for free. Get access to that, download that. It is a book, it is a gift for every single one of you, right? So you get access to a lot of content that you can share with yourself. If you have team members, please be open. You can share it with anyone you believe will benefit from this information. I have no problems in anyone getting access to this information, because I truly believe that as financial professionals, we should share best practice. We should share what we do good. We should share the structure that we use to build our business. So please go ahead, share it with anyone you need it, um, and just send it out. Be more than glad to send it out to whoever you like. Great, we've got Henny, Sarah, and Zita who have joined us. So, guys, before we start today's session, Sarah, Henny, Zita, thank you for coming. First of all, really appreciate it.
Hi,
Uh,
Sanjay.
Sanjay.
all right, guys, I want all of you all to know this, right? So, everyone that's watching into today's session, they don't get paid to do any of this, right? And they're willing to share. So, first of all, please do tell them thank you. Um, they are really doing this because we all believe that we should share our knowledge, right? So that's the reality. So I do want all of you all to understand that um, that they are actually not doing this for any other thing except sharing this knowledge. All right, so we're going to start with Sarah.
Yeah, I know it's me. Yeah, it's okay.
Sarah, how
Yeah.
long have you been in the business?
Oh, goodness. This August, 2026 August, will be my 30th year.
Wow.
So now I'm
Okay.
still 29.
Yeah, I know. We started before you were born. All right, we
Yeah.
got that. So, guys, Sarah has been in this business just almost 30 years. And I want you all to understand that 30 years in the business, you couldn't have survived so long if you haven't done something right, correct? So, I
Yeah.
want all of you all to know this, that she's been doing this for 30, almost 30 years, which is amazing. So, thank you very much, Sarah. Really appreciate you being here. Zita, how long have you been in this business?
This August, 10 years.
Wow. What is it? August 10? All of you all have to start.
August,
All
August.
right, so Zita started August. It's been 10 years. Fantastic. And Henny, how long have you been in the business?
This September will be 29 years.
All
Wow.
right. So we missed by one more month. All right.
Yeah.
So we've got Henny who's been here for 29 years, Sarah almost 30 years, Zita almost 10 years. Guys, I want all of you all to remember this, that if people have survived that long in this business, they're doing something correct. Plus, they're hitting the benchmarks, right? They're doing their MDRTs, COTs, TOTs, and they're hitting those benchmarks. And I want you all to remember this. But Sarah, I want to start with a very simple question for you. Um, what are you doing special in 2026?
2026. Actually, every year I sort of like do the same thing, but probably just tweaking some of the practices.
What are you
So,
tweaking this year?
yeah, this year I think I will do even more trips, more staycations. I think that helped me a lot. Yeah, to stay sane in the business. But in terms of business practice, I think
All right. No. Wait. Let me give everyone a little context on what those words mean. So, guys, I want you all to understand. Sarah is someone who takes a lot of staycations. Okay. And every time I ask Sarah, "Where are you?" She's like, "I'm on a staycation." And I realized that every time Sarah takes a staycation, she comes back fresher, and she actually comes back more focused, which is amazing. So I want all of you all to remember this. The grind does not have to be that you work every single day of the year. No, that's not how you plan your time. The way you plan your time is you work, you go rest out a little bit, and you come back to work. And I want all of you to remember this. If you are cutting a tree, right? You have an axe and you're cutting a tree, you're cutting a tree, you're cutting a tree, but you don't take time off and sharpen your axe, refocus, relearn, get some new strategies. You're not sharpening your axe will blunt out and you will feel pressure in this business. After 30 years, do you realize Sarah is talking about taking more staycations, not lesser, more staycations, more time off. And there's nothing bad with that because she spends a lot of time during those staycations and those trips to learn more things, to refocus, replan, and that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. So, Sarah, I wanted to give them context because
Yes, correct.
a lot of people don't
Yeah,
understand when you say, "Oh,
correct.
I'm going to take a lot more vacation this year."
Yeah, but in the end, to do more production.
To do more production.
Yes.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I'm going to ask Zita a question now. All right, Zita, you know, it's the start of the year. What's the one habit or activity that's going to help you build that momentum in this practice of yours?
Actually, I always do the same. and this year, because in the first quarter is bonus season, and the Chinese Lunar New Year is coming, so I keep doing policy review with clients, and I never stop profit selling. I always make the financial goal to make clear their financial goals. Yeah.
Is it me or Zita? We can't hear you very clearly. Could you repeat that? Sorry,
Oh,
I
sorry.
can't hear you. Yeah.
I
So
I keep doing the policy review, and because the policy at the start of the year, this year is the uh bonus year, bonus quarter, and it's the Chinese New Year holiday is approaching. So I would approaching then the saving plan and education fund in the first quarter. Yeah.
okay, so guys, remember one thing. Zita has got a very specific plan, and I want to summarize what Zita just said. What Zita was saying was every quarter she has a strategy for that quarter, right? Now, a lot of us have a strategy for the year, but she has a strategy for the quarter. And she knows that in Q1, a lot of bonuses get paid out. So if you're working, you're a salaried employed person, you're C suite, a lot of bonuses get paid out in Q1, especially during Chinese New Year. So if you're working in the Chinese market, you know that a lot of bonuses get paid out just before Chinese New Year,
Yeah.
and those bonuses will end up getting spent in the wrong places, so they'll end up buying things that should not be buying, right? And Zeta capitalizes on that particular type of market. So I'm just summarizing what Zeta said because I truly believe that a lot of people don't understand the purpose of planning for quarters. So a lot of people think our business is like this. It's not. Our business is like this, right? We have got cycles. During Q1, we have got different products. During Q2, there are different products that we focus on. During Q3, again, there are different products. Again, during Q4, there are different products. So, depending on the type of client you're working, so for example, let me give a few examples. Sorry, Zita, for cutting you there, but let me give a few examples. Businesses, if you're working in the corporate financial planning sector where you're working with corporations, etc., a lot of the budgeting happens in Q4, right? So they budget for the next year. If you're not part of their budget, they will postpone you to next year. So I want you all to remember this. Become a part of their budget. Once they've allocated the budget, that is guaranteed business for the next year. Think about that. So I have mentees of mine who only focus on corporate financial planning. And when they focus on corporate financial planning, they actually only work most of their time in Q4. They want to be part of the budget for the next year, right? So they do a lot of key man insurance, a lot of board of directors insurance, DNO insurance, director and officer insurance, a lot of employee benefits like employee uh, group medicals, group life, workman compensation, and that's what they focus on. They focus on asset management, training funds, play funds, uh, execution funds for the family office or for corporations because it's budgeting season. Q4 is budgeting season. They budget for all these things, right? So I want all of you all to think about this. What's your strategy for Q1? What's your strategy for Q2? What's your strategy for Q3? You need to have a strategy, right? Um, Henny, quick one for you. All right. Tell me something that what's the one change that you have made to help you improve your client conversations? I want because a lot of people don't know how to start conversations. So what's the changes that you're making um, to that?
Well, because most of the time I talk a lot, so the things that I change now is I try to speak slower and also ask good questions and make conversations instead of talking and trying to convince them. So now I'm trying to educate them.
So you're guilty of what we call the fast
Yes.
talker problem, right? So guys, let me tell you a fact. My dad used to say this to me all the time. He's like, Sanjay, can you please stop talking so fast? I talk a lot and I used to talk very fast. I had to practice my tonality. I had to practice the speed at which I talk. I had to practice that. And Henny has also got the same problem. Right, Henny?
Yes.
So, guys, I
Trying to
want you all
change.
to understand this, right? That these are small changes that we need to make. Your tonality. Do you speak loudly? Do you speak softly? Right? When do you actually become firm? How do you slow down your talking speed? When do you speed it up? So I want all of you all to remember this is practiced. We practice conversations, and it becomes what we call muscle memory, right? And that's what Henny is talking about. She's becoming more deliberate in slowing down her speed of talking. So, looking back at 2025, right, guys, what's something that worked that you will bring into 2026? So I know, uh, Sarah, what did you do your TOT in 2025?
Yes, my second one.
Your second TOT, well done.
Yeah.
Zita, I know you did your TOT in 6 months. Super proud of you. Well done. Um, Henny, what did you do? COT?
TOT my first time after
You did your,
28 years.
you did your first.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Guys,
Sarah.
okay, I'm super proud of all three of you. Getting your TOTs, guys, I want you all to understand something. TOT is a standard that we have in the BCC program. And if you're in the BCC program, you know what I tell you. You
Yes,
need to be
five
doing
TOTs to retire.
5 TOTs to retire. Otherwise, don't retire. You're going to go back to work. Uh, I actually tell everyone you've got 5 TOTs, you have to do it. And the reason is once you've done 5 TOTs, not one TOT, once you've done 5 TOTs, you have found a system to continuously keep doing TOT. It becomes natural for you, right? So it's not about getting one TOT, it's about getting 5 TOTs. That's the target that you need to set for yourself, making sure you get TOT for 5 years consecutively so that you have now built a system to continue getting your TOT. So, Sarah, congratulations on your second TOT. Henny, congratulations on your first. Zita, how many TOTs have you done?
Fourth.
Four. There you go. All right. So she's done 4 TOTs. The interesting thing is they are in different markets, right? So Henny and Sarah in Singapore, Zita is in Hong Kong. So I want all of you all to remember this. You can complain about the markets. All of you can complain about the market. My market is bad, compliance is this, blah, 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 blah. You will meet mentees of mine today that are from different markets doing extremely well. And that's what I want every single one of you all to think about, right? So, guys, simple question for all three of you. Henny, Sarah, Zita, all three of you, same question. What did you do right in 2025? And what are you going to bring into 2026? Also, if you can share, what is the one thing that you did wrong in 2025 and you wish you did not do that? And you want to be conscious about that. So, Sarah, we're going to start with you again. Tell me,
Sure.
what's things that you did in 2025 that really worked for you?
I think staying very focused on really knowing what exactly you wanted.
Mm,
Of course, I did do the 2023. I did a COT, I did a TOT, my first one. Then last year, I look at the timeline. I couldn't catch up that 2 months. I need a MDRT, so I know, COT is what I want to focus on. But as you get closer, then you find the momentum. And then, if you think, hey, why not, then you go for it. So what I did correctly, I think, was staying focused, knowing
Mm.
exactly what I want, and have a strategy on how to get the things that you want. So
Okay.
for me, I focus on risk management.
Okay.
So other than talking about legacy, I also talk about income streams for retirement. So these are what you covered earlier. So I use the uh, flow of water. I modify a bit.
That's
So it's either building a big pot for legacy, if that's what they want. Of course, now there are some people I start to hear they want to die with zero. So of course that put aside. But those who want to build a legacy, then I did IUL policies, and at the same time, I also talk about variable and guarantee incomes. Then I build the
okay.
income streams. Yeah,
Guys, I want you all to understand something, right? Um, the presentations that I've built, you can modify them
yeah.
to what makes you comfortable.
Mm,
Just remember, your choice of words is very, very important. So test the choice of words that you use in your presentation,
mm,
because that would be the reason why they work or they don't work, right? And like Sarah just mentioned, she uses my presentation, but she has modified it a little bit for, or she's tweaked it based on her personality, her culture, as well as her type of clients that she works
yeah,
with.
right.
Plus, if you realize, she did mention something very important, which is risk management, right? There are four specializations that are there in our business, and a lot of people don't realize this. You have to learn to be a specialist, not a generalist. You have to learn to be a specialist, and there are four specializations: asset management, risk management, corporate financial planning, family office management. Write these down, guys. Risk management, asset management, corporate financial planning, and family office management. There are four specializations. So, Sarah, you have chosen risk management as your specialization,
Yes, correct.
and Zita, what's your specialization?
Risk management.
Risk management as well. Henny, what's the specialization you have chosen?
Same risk
Risk
management.
management. All right, that's great. You see, all three of them have chosen risk management as their specialization. It does not mean that's the only specialization, guys. Please understand that. There is family office management, there is corporate financial planning, and there is also asset management. Guys, so coming to Zita. Zita, what's the habit of 2025 that you're bringing into 2026? I mean, what's the one thing that you're looking back on?
Well, in 2025, I achieved an outstanding result by generating around 100 million premium Hong Kong dollar through premium financing. So this year, I will continue to focus on doing premium financing, as the interest rate this year is much more cheaper. The interest rate is more cheaper.
That's actually true. You know,
Yeah,
with interest rates going down, it
yeah.
might make sense for all these advisors out there, right? I want you all to think about a very technical factor that if interest rates continue to go down, or even stay where they are, there is an arbitrage opportunity in doing premium financing, especially for entrepreneurs or family offices. So, clients with wealth, it might make sense for them to look at premium financing. It is a great strategy. It works fantastic for people who have wealth. Um, and like Zita said, right, she did a significantly large case last year using that strategy, and that's something that she wants to continue this year. So you have to think which strategy worked for you last year that might make sense for you to bring into 2026. Henny, the same question for you. What's the strategy in 2025 that worked and you're bringing into 2026?
Yeah, last year I did an income strategy. So what works well is because interest rate is getting lower and lower, and clients are looking for explore more ways to get dividend and for their retirement and to beat inflation and not yet getting to expect too much risk, especially in the coming times of retirement. So I propose something for income strategy and they love it. So moving forward in 2026, I'll continue to cater for this market, yeah, to give them income strategy and some variable income and guaranteed income.
That's amazing. So, guys, I want all of you all to think about this, right? So, Henny is focusing on income strategies. Zita is focusing on premium financing. Sarah is focusing on something that's risk management based, and she's doing a combination of what Henny and Zita are doing. And that just gives you an idea. There is no one correct strategy. It's what makes you feel most clear and confident in this business. And I want you all to think about this, right? How have you improved your client conversations? Sarah, how have you improved your client conversations? Because you can't be having the same conversation with the same people, right? You're changing conversations. So how have you improved over this 30 years? You've been doing this for a very, very long time.
Yeah. Let me start first. So
Yeah.
basically, towards the end of last year, there's so much. I hear my clients all talking about, market is very toppish, this time really very high already and all that. So I was then,
Hasn't the market been an all-time high for the last 5 years?
yeah, donkey years, but they
Every year,
forgotten. They
every
just
year,
feel that,
all-time
yeah,
high,
it's, yeah,
all-time high,
yeah.
all-time high.
Then when I had some objections rather about investing, then
Yeah.
it dawned on me I cannot continue that way. If that approach can't get me a yes, then I need to think how to improve. So as I reflect, so I recalled, I think Sanjay's sharing on what was that, when we talk about parents wanting to leave legacy or not, right?
Yeah.
And then you talk about, yeah, well, if our children turn out well, that's very good, but just in case they don't, right, then whatever extra monies we provide, it will be helpful.
Mm.
Correct. So I use that, and then I tried out with a client, and actually it worked. Then I continue to use it up to now. So I get them into the conversation about, what do you think of the market situation now? And majority will say, yeah, very toppish, very high already. Can you probably will go into a bad recession or market will dip, etc. I say, yeah, that's true. But the key thing is that, what if, I think most likely you'll be right. But what if you are wrong? So if I can suggest a strategy that you can win both ways, will it be good? Are you open to
No.
it? Then they are. Then I explain my strategy.
So Sarah, okay, guys,
Okay,
I want
because
to
maybe I
summarize.
explain further again.
I
Is
want to
that
sum. I want
I
to
bet
sum.
on dollar cost averaging. So if you are right, market falls, then just nice. You commit in a plan and in a disciplined way, you have to put in the premiums. Because in my almost 29 years of business, I realized when market is down, everybody say, yeah, they'll buy when there's a dip, but when it really dip, they will wait for further dips. In case market dip further, they don't enter. And then market now with shorter cycles, it just V-shaped recovery too fast. You miss the
Guys,
gain,
I
right?
want you to hear what Sarah just said. Market cycles have become shorter. This is very important information because the reason why this is important, the reason why market cycles have become shorter is because access to information has increased. A lot more people know a lot more things too soon, and therefore reaction time has increased. Robo advisory. So we're talking about people using artificial intelligence to do investments, right? AI executes orders faster, and therefore we are having V-shaped recoveries because there's a misprice and suddenly it's repriced to the correct price. And then again, they overbuy, they oversell, and that's the reason why the volatility in the market has actually increased because people are reacting faster than ever before, right? And that's increased volatility. This is very important to understand that volatility is a friend of dollar cost averaging. If the markets are not volatile, dollar cost averaging does not work. Please remember this. Volatility is a friend of dollar cost averaging, but if the markets are not volatile, so if you're doing fixed income or you're doing something that's quite stable, dollar cost averaging doesn't work. I want all of you all to understand that, right? So it's a strategy that works in volatility. It does not work in non-volatile situations or markets. Thank you. Thanks, Sarah. Uh, Henny, same question to you, right? How are you improving your client conversations? I mean, 29 years, you've been doing something correct.
Well, my clients kind of trust me. So when it comes for review, they more or less know this is the path that they need to go. Like for the milestone, the next milestone is for retirement planning, for investment, to catch up for the investment. And so far, during COVID times, 2020, the market's gone down, but they didn't panic at all. In fact, they do more because they are quite sophisticated. So when they do more and they are seeing they are enjoying the fruits of their labor now. Now they're enjoying what
Henny, I'm
sowing.
going to ask you. a simpler question, right? Um, how do you start the conversation now? So
Well,
let's say Sarah is a client, right? How would you be starting that conversation with Sarah?
so I asked Sarah, it's like, how do you feel currently the market right now, and how is your investment doing?
Okay, so that's one of the very interesting things, right? Guys, I want you all to understand. The reason why I asked that question to Henny is because a lot of us are still trying to think what should be our conversation starter? How do I start my conversation? Now, Henny uses questions to start. So there are only three ways to start conversations. You either start with a question, you start with a case study, or you start with a presentation. You only have three ways to start a conversation: with a question, a case study, or a presentation. Now, if the question leads to a presentation, it's even better, right? So you ask a question, they don't give you a good answer, that's all right. Don't worry about their answer, because your question should lead to a presentation. So, for example, when Henny is asking the question, what do you think about the markets? And they're like, I don't know, they're volatile. I don't invest in the markets. It doesn't matter what the answer is. Your question should follow a presentation. And I want you all to think about this. That after I ask the question, do I care about that answer? The answer is actually no. That answer only should directly lead to a presentation. If they say markets are great, fantastic. And that's where Sarah came in, right? She said, what if I could create a situation where you win on both sides? Market goes up, you win. Market goes down, you win. Wouldn't you like that? Right? So it goes into a presentation. And I want you all to think about that, right? So I'm going to ask the same question to Zita. How have you improved your client conversation, Zita?
Actually, when the market is volatile, so I feel excited because I never sell risky investment to my client. And I think that is the best time to communicate with the client about when the market is fluctuating. And last month, one of my clients just told me he just lost around 20% in the stock market. And I said, Mr. Khan, I'm so sorry about your losses. By the way, do you remember last time what we done 3 years ago? 3 years ago, we have been we have been put the asset in the foundation for the security and certain guarantee and the guarantee income for the coming 20 years. So although the market is uncertain, so you no need to worry about because your basic foundation is solid. So what I worry about is that the guaranteed income is enough for you. And my advice for you is to put 20% of your total assets into the solid foundation. So that you don't need to worry about the market volatile anymore. So let's catch up and chat whether is there any insurance gap. Are you available next week?
So, guys, I want you to understand that, right? Zita is a person who doesn't like to do risky investments, right? And she likes guarantees and she likes a lot of simple products, which are traditional products. They are safe, they're secured. And she uses the volatility as her friend.
Yeah.
She basically says, Mr. Client, are you okay with the volatility? If you're not, then let's try to convert from volatile to guarantees. And I want you all to all understand that not everyone has to do risky investments. One of the biggest problems that we have as advisors is we try to solve every problem our clients have, right? And we try to sell every product. Guys, I want you to choose the products that you sell. Be very comfortable with that product. Don't try to sell everything. Don't be the one-stop shop for all your stupid needs, right? Uh, Learn to become a specialist. Stop being a pharmacy. Start becoming a doctor, right? Give good advice. People buy, they don't buy, it doesn't matter. Give good advice. Guys, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. But before you log off, right, I do want to ask you this question. What's one advice that you would give to everyone that's listening? Because you have to remember, some of the people listening to yours are as experienced as you are in the business, and some are just new in this business. So what's one piece of advice that you would give to an advisor that's starting this year, whether they're new, they're old, it doesn't matter? What's that one advice? So I'm going to start with Henny now. Henny, what's that one advice you'd give to everyone?
Well, keep on learning and have a growth mindset, and don't be afraid to dare to dream big, and don't compare your current situation with other peers, because everybody had to start somewhere, and one day you reach your dream and be the top of the top. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. That is a big problem. We do compare ourselves to other people, which is where we either feel we're big, not small. We can't kind of figure out where we are. So I do want you all to remember this, that guys, please do not compare yourself to other advisors. Compare yourself to yourself last year, right? If you're progressing, you're going in the right direction. If you're not progressing, that's when you should get concerned, right? Your biggest competition is you. I do not compare myself to anyone. I compare myself to myself last year. And if I'm progressing, I know I'm doing it right. If I'm not progressing, I know I'm doing something wrong, and I need to figure that out, right? So, thank you for sharing that, Annie. I think that's something that's simple yet so effective. So, Zita, what's one advice that you would give to someone who's listening to you today?
My advice to everyone is to find a great mentor. Because even though I've been in this industry for around 10 years, when we begin at 2026 last month, I still feel like I will start all over again. Start from zero again. And I suddenly feel anxiety, upset, and confused. And I feel down at that time. And then I asked Dr. Sandra a question, what should I do? And so to every advice here, find a good mentor who can guide you, trust you, and lift you up. Stay humble, stay hungry, and keep going. That is the best foundation for a long and meaningful career.
Zita, thank you for those very kind words, guys. Zita, I really appreciate those words. But Zita is absolutely correct. I mean, sometimes we all feel a little lost, including myself. I have 7 mentors in my life and in my career. So I just spent 3 days with my mentor in January. I'm actually flying next week to meet with my mentor. I'm spending 1 day with my mentor, because sometimes we feel a little lost. Sometimes we feel, where do I restart? I mean, every January, on the 1st of January, all of us start with the same book. It starts at zero, right? And sometimes you just don't know where to start again. You don't know what to do next. Sometimes you feel lost, you feel a little foggy. And having a mentor gives you that clarity on where you're stuck, a little bit of a motivation, a little bit of a push, a little bit of, I'm there for you, right? Sometimes just that word, that I'm there for you, helps us get through tough times. And mentorship is something that I would recommend everyone. Guys, please get yourself a mentor. It will help you in this business, because you do need a good mentor. You don't need one, you probably need more. I have 7 mentors. So I'm not saying you should have one mentor. You could probably have multiple mentors. So just think about that, right? And thank you, Zita, for sharing that. Sarah, what's your one advice?
Okay, can I have 3 advices?
Yes,
Okay.
give 3 advices.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So number one, I think it's got to be very clear. We only recommend things that we have conviction in, solutions that we are comfortable and we trust. Like what Sanjay said, if you get your own children to pick them up, then yes, that's the one that you would recommend. So I think I did that, and using that, I can demonstrate to my clients, hey, I have a stake in this as well. So these solutions that I built for retirement, you see, this is what I've done for myself, and then they'll be more comfortable to also take your advice.
Okay.
That's one. And number two, it's always think about who is who are your target market, who are the people you enjoy working with. Because even for new starters, right, you don't have to do business with anybody and everybody. That's a mistake I made in my younger days.
Thank
Right?
you so much, Sarah.
Yes.
Thank you for saying that. Guys, you don't have to work with anybody and everybody. You have to learn to choose your clients. You're the promise you're giving to your clients is the same promise you've given to your family, right? Till death do us part. Don't make everyone family. Think about it, right? Please choose your clients carefully. You're going to be with them for a very, very, very long time. You don't like them, please don't adopt them. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Sarah.
Yes, and my another advice is that yes, there are people who have big cases, super big cases, but trust me, I don't have big cases. But you can still do a good track record of MDRT, COT, and even TOT. Okay, it cannot be
Thank
too
you
small.
once again.
It cannot be too small cases, obviously, because we
No,
get
no,
tired out. All right, but it
but
must be
thank
good
you for
size
saying
case.
that.
Yes,
Sarah, a lot of people think that you need to do a lot of big cases to get to top of the table, etc. A lot of people don't realize this. My first TOT was not with big cases. I did 470 cases in that 1 year to get my first top of the table. Yes, my case size have increased since, but my first top of the table when I was 23 was not with a lot of big cases. It was with small cases, but I had consistency, right? So, guys, when we built the BCC program, we're not just talking about big cases. We're actually talking about being consistent and consistently growing to getting to the big cases, right? It's a step by step process. You can't suddenly jump to running a big case. You could have a luck. I mean, you could do it, what we call a jackpot, might just happen, but it's not mandatory, right? Thank you for sharing that,
yeah,
Sarah.
and even for those who are starters, right, in the industry, you if you don't have big cases, you can actually look at people who can save. If they don't earn a lot, but they have ability to save, I think this will be your target audience. When I first started, I target those who are auditors, well paid, but no time to spend money, no time to meet other people. So if they met me through some introductions and referrals, then definitely, they will be locked in as my clients. So every day, every year, no time to meet other people, but only meet me. Okay, so you
True
have to
that.
identify your target group
Auditors
of
are like
clients.
that,
Yeah,
doctors are like that, business
yeah,
owners are like that. They don't have
correct.
time. Entrepreneurs, they don't have a lot of time. So, yeah, there are a lot of markets that kind of fit that kind of criteria. So, yeah, a lot of people don't realize that. Great. That was your third advice.
Yes.
It's fantastic. Um, so, could you summarize it? Your first advice was
My first one is, yeah, recommend a solution that you have confidence and trust in.
only recommend what you like.
Yeah,
Don't recommend things you don't believe in, you don't have conviction in.
yeah.
Second, what's your second?
Second one, it's work with people that you like. After you focus, I mean, target your target market, you decided on your
Product
target
you
market.
like or
Yes,
solution you like, and then it's people you like.
correct. Because
Number
you
three,
don't carry shit home.
correct. Don't carry shit home. Yes, very important.
Yeah.
Number three,
No need big cases to succeed in this business.
no need big cases to succeed. Guys, I want you all to remember these three very good advices that come from a veteran in the business. Sorry, I'm calling you a veteran, Sarah, but
Yes,
you
I
are.
am.
I know you are. Guys, we look forward to seeing all of you are getting your double TOTs this year.
Yes.
No pressure. It's publicly announced.
Yeah.
So no pressure, guys. Double TOTs. Zita did her TOT last year in 6 months. So I'm assuming she'll do two TOTs this year.
Oh,
Right. And Sarah, you're going to get your third TOT. And Henny, you're going to get your second TOT. Right. Good on. Thank you
thank
so much for
you.
being here.
You.
Yeah.
Okay.
And guys,
Thanks.
Let us
thank you
say
for sharing. Really appreciate it. All right. Guys, you understand this, right? Um, that these mentees of mine, they don't get anything for sharing their knowledge, but the reason why they share is because they truly believe that best practices have to be shared. And that's the reason why we do this, right? Is I want you all to understand that as advisors, it's our job to share best practices, figure out what's the correct strategy, and just be ourselves, because we all need to share our best structures. I do have three more mentees of mine that are coming on. So let's see if we can get them on board. All right. We've got Anthony, Suli, and Suchitra. So, Suchitra, we're going to call you Rimi. Rimi is from Thailand, Suli is from Malaysia, and Anthony is from Singapore, right? Guys, thank you for coming. I mean, seriously, again, appreciate it. But before we start, can you please give a little introduction? Rimi, how long have you been in the business?
In this business, in my ninth year now.
Ninth year. Fantastic. And Suli, how long have you been in the business?
I have in the business for 25 years.
25 years too. All right. And Anthony, how long have you been in the business?
I'm in the business for 24 years.
There you go. Guys, again, 24 years, 25 years, and 9 years in the business. That just tells you that we are always learning, every single one of us. It doesn't matter how long we've been in the business, we're still learning from each other. We're sharing our best practices. Guys, I did want to ask you similar questions, right? I just want to know, what have you done in 2025 that really worked for you that you're bringing into 2026? And we're going to start with Anthony. Anthony would love to know, what did you do right in 2025 that 2026 that you're going to crack it on that?
I think after attending your this mentorship program, I decided to focus on asset management. So I found a lot of opportunities that I work with a lot of pre-retirees and retirees because generally when you're about 24 years in the business, right? I mean, your clients grow with you, so they are possibly also in that segment, and they'll be looking forward to an early retirement. So I help them in terms of reviewing all the plans that I've actually done for them, look into ways of how to restructure and optimize them. So, and I actually created strategies to actually help them generate a sustainable income. And that actually helps them to take care of their day-to-day expenses and also give them a confidence that even if they are not retired today, they can actually do so.
Got it. So your specialization, let me just understand, is asset management, right?
Yes, that's right.
So guys, I want you all to understand this, right? Everyone in the BCC program or any one of my mentees, I've always told them to specialize in a particular sector, right? So Suli, your with specialization?
Risk management.
Your risk management. And Remy, what's your specialization?
Risk management too.
Also risk management. So you have to remember, right? Remy is doing risk management, Suli is focusing on risk management, but Anthony is focusing on asset management. A lot of people don't realize insurance is one of the most beautiful asset classes in asset management. It's an asset. A lot of people don't know how to use it correctly, and that's what makes it so special. That if you can find a way to structure asset management strategies using insurance as an asset, not as a protection, not as a income replacement tool, but as an asset, you will change the way people look at insurance, and it's a phenomenal potential opportunity that you have right there. So thanks for sharing that, Anthony. Remy, what are you doing in 2025 2026 that you're bringing from 2025?
So, we've been talking a lot about longevity, living
Yeah.
till 100, 120. And so this is something that everyone hears every day. So something that I'm bringing into 2026, and this has started since the start of the year, is building on retirement planning, right? Talking about the guaranteed and the variables, and communicating it with all, starting with my existing clientele base.
Are you concerned about clients saying, wait a second, I don't think I'm going to live that long? Or clients responding saying, I don't want to live that long?
It doesn't matter. For me, it's not a concern, because I said at the end you are going to be in some retirement years, whether it's 30, 40, 50, even if you like it or not. So you have no choice, but you need to plan.
I'm going to tell you guys something very funny, right? I was sitting with a client and I said, Mr. Client, if you found out today that you have 100 more years to live, right? How do you feel? And you know what his instant response was? I don't want it. And I'm like, huh? So what are you going to do? Kill yourself? The most instant reply that you get, right, is, I don't want it, Sanjay. It's too long. I don't want it. And that's something that really made me realize that people, while they want to live long, they don't want to live too long, right? And so what's the definition of long and too long? And it's very arbitrary that we have all planned for a 75, 80-year life, and we think that's what we should live, and 80 is great, and 90 is good, and 90 is amazing, and if I reach 90, I should be very grateful and thankful. But as soon as I say you're going to cross 120, they're like, no, 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 that's too long, bro. I don't want it. In an era of abundance, we're going from an era of scarcity to an era of abundance. In an era of abundance, we need to plan for abundance. We need to really plan that if I have all these resources, time is a resource. If I have all these resources, time, health is a resource. You have time, you have good health. These are two good resources. What would you be spending your time and health doing for 100 years? And it's not just about money. Guys, if you focus on the plan, the product becomes easy to sell because the plan will decide the product. And thank you for sharing that, Remy. I really appreciate that. Suli, what did you do right in 2025 that you're going to do in 2026?
I focus on estate planning, which is
Yeah.
legacy for the special needs child.
Uh-huh. So
So
can you share a little bit more about that? Because I think a lot of people don't know how to plan for families that have got children with special needs. So could you share one strategy?
uh, I actually share with them, like if let's say these children actually have special needs. So when we are around, it's not a problem because we can plan everything for them. Just in case we are not around, what will happen to these children?
Yeah.
So who will be taking them? So we need to prepare a fund for these children.
Okay. So tell me something. Because guys, I had so the reason why I'm asking Suli this question is because I've worked with families with children with special needs in them, right? I was actually just with a family that has a child with special needs, and the father asked me this question. He's like, Sanjay, how do I plan? How do I plan for a child like that? And there are very few people that are specializing in helping families with children with special needs, right? And Suli has actually taken that on, is getting to um, you know focusing on just getting that type of client, is working with those type of clients, because it's very easy to blanket the advice. It's easy to give them common advice. They can communicate to each other. A lot of parents who have children with special needs want to know what other parents who are doing with children with special needs. They all like to exchange notes. You could become a specialist in just that type of advice. And Suli actually is doing that. That's one of the reasons why um, I asked Suli to come and share. Is Suli, what's the quickest advice you can give to someone who is trying to get into that market or wanting to help families who've got children with special needs? What's quick advice that you can give them?
We must understand the parents' thinking
Okay,
because
so
we are
for example,
like
go on.
is for those parents with special kids, their mentality and their thinking is totally different from others. They are a bit skeptical in informing others about their children. So you need to take the initiative to meet them and talk to them on the consequences if they didn't plan the legacy for the children.
Guys, I want you all to remember what Suli just said, right? A lot of these parents don't know what structure to use. Should they use a trust? Should they use a foundation? What is the legacy structure they should build? Because a lot of these children need support, right? What if your child outlives you as a parent? Because as long as you are there, you'll take care of everything. But if you're not around, what the legal guardian is supposed to be doing? How are they supposed to take care of these kids? Where's the money going to come from? What's the kind of activity you want these children to be living? So you need to not just give money, you need to also give a schedule of how to get these children to be taken care of, right? And that's a lot of work. So Suli, thank you for sharing that. Anthony, coming to you, how do you stay disciplined? I mean, what's the schedule that you use?
I think it's very difficult to keep myself motivated. So what I do usually is I stick to a routine. Yeah, like since about 2 years back, I started to go to a gym, and
Okay.
so there's classes, and practically every day I will do my best to go for the same time, to attend the class, and after that I'll go to work. Yeah, so I think when you go to work, you need to know what you're working on, so you
Yeah.
need to actually be able to have a pool of clientele. So for us, we have been in the business long enough, so obviously there are many clientels that there are many clients that we can actually connect to. So sometimes to talk about the changing needs, sometimes to talk about what is on the market now, especially like now there's going to be a lot of changes in Singapore for the healthcare insurance in terms of the premiums and the way they are going to remodel the business.
Yeah.
So these are all the things that we can talk about. Yeah. So find conversations to have with your clients every day. Yeah, and
Okay.
I think not to worry so much about the sale, but to have conversations. I think that is what you can focus on.
So, guys, I want all of you all to listen to what Anthony just said, right? Which is very, very important. Sometimes you don't feel motivated to work. And Anthony, you're not alone. I have those days as well. When I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to do what I do. Right? You do want to have a break once in a while. And one of the best ways to stay motivated is to have a schedule. If you have a schedule, even if you don't feel motivated, you will push through that day. Right? So you will do whatever is necessary and you will try to avoid all things that are not necessary. So I want you all to think about that, right? That Anthony uses discipline as a way to stay motivated, or at least push through the day that he doesn't feel motivated, right? And Anthony, you and I've got that very similar strategy that my schedule forces me to get things done, and my calendar is so full that sometimes I'm like, oh my God. By the way, guys, after this session, I've got 5 more client meetings. I want you all to remember that, right? After I've finished this session, I've got 5 more client meetings because my calendar is full, right? Even if I'm tired, I don't have a choice. I've got 5 more client meetings after this session. So imagine after spending 3 hours with you all, I'll be going into 5 more client meetings after that. Remy, coming to you, what keeps you disciplined?
Again, very similar routine, but the routine is a bit different for me. What keeps me disciplined, and people often ask me in terms of motivation too, is I if you talk about work wise, I have a very good discipline in that I need to break the egg within the first week of the month. We are in a profession where we start with a big zero. We could
Yes.
have done best. We could have done really great the last month, but when the month starts, it's a big zero. So for us is we need to break the egg. And if we can break the egg, it keeps us motivated and disciplined going into the month. So breaking the egg is the first thing that needs to be done in the first week, and then by third week you're done for the month, and then you can take a week's break working, take some breaks, and then by first week of the next month you're ready again.
For
So
breaking the egg.
you need to work 3 weeks and maybe take a 1 week break so that you have that momentum. Otherwise you get burned out, and I often see people on a rat race trying to close a deal just one day before the month end, which I don't like. I like to.
So, so while all the other people are running in the last week, you're actually saying, I'm taking it easy. Guys, that's something that I want you all to realize, right? While every one of you are focusing, so you sit down with clients and they're like, it's month end, it's month end, it's month end, and they're running for that month end. Remy is chilling in month end because she knows that as soon as the month end is finished, she goes in and she has a great first week. So she's a first week person, not a last week person. And I'll tell you something, a lot of advisors actually work harder during Q4. And if they worked harder during Q1, Q4 would be a breeze for them. And that's exactly the same strategy that Q1 should actually be your best quarter, not your Q4. So, guys, I want you all to remember this. Q1 should actually be your best quarter. So, guys, we're in the middle of Q1. Please make Q1 your best quarter. It'll make your whole year a lot more motivated. You'll be a lot more guided. You'll be a lot more focused. And your Q4 will still be very good because the momentum carries you through, right? So, guys, I really appreciate all the advice you're giving, but I'm going to ask all of you all for one last advice for everyone that's watching, all right? What's that one advice that you would give? And Suli, I'm going to start with you. Your mic's breaking, so be a little clear. Not everyone's not being able to hear you because I think there's a problem with your mic. But what's one quick advice that you would give to everyone that's listening in today?
stay focused.
Stay focused
Stay,
on what?
stay focused because market have been volatile. So maybe you will meet some clients that giving negativity and you face a lot of objections. Must focus on what you really want. Because
Okay, let me correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I understood, right? Because I know you're having a technical problem, so don't worry about that. Guys, what Suli is saying is stay focused. Your clients will give you rejections, objections. The markets are volatile. People will be apprehensive. You don't get affected by their, I would say, aura or vibration, right? Stay focused, stay motivated. That's something that's very, very important, right? Um, every single one of you, every single one of you that's listening today, carry your own energy. Don't let other people's energy affect you. That's very important because if you let other people's energy affect you, you have a problem. Just keep that in mind, right? That don't let other people's energy affect you. Stay focused on your level of energy. Remy, what's your one advice that you would give to everyone that's listening in today's session?
There's so many things to give advice on, but I'll keep it very short and sweet. Uh,
Go
uh,
on.
yeah. So, first thing, just a few things. Build trust, not
Mm,
book building with clients. I think that goes very well for newbies also. We need to keep the conversation going. Stay ethical, stay disciplined, and stay human. That's
mm.
very, very important. Stay curious, keep learning, because what we are in is a lifelong profession,
It is.
right? So we can bring the best on the table for our clients. And my three P's that I've been working on for the last 3 decades since I've been working, and then that's worked for me, is patience, perseverance, and the last one is persistence. That's in our profession. We don't give up so easily.
Mm.
So I wish everyone all the best.
Guys, that was absolute pearls of wisdom coming from Remy. That sounds more like a rap song, and one day maybe we need to convert that into an insurance rap song out there. Uh, but thank you for sharing that. The three P's. What is it? Patience,
Patience,
perseverance,
perseverance, and persistence.
and persistence. All right, patience, perseverance, and persistence. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, real pearls of wisdom out there. Stay curious. I like that one. Which was the other one? Stay what?
Stay ethical, stay
Stay
disciplined.
ethical. Thank you. Guys, please remember one thing. Ethics will play a very important role in your success. And the way Remy said it, truly I can convert that into a rap song. Stay ethical, stay awesome. Anthony, what's your one advice to everyone that's listening in today?
I guess it's important for advisors to know who your target segment. Yeah, you're not trying to be a supermarket, right? So you need to have a specialized. And when you have conversations, keep it simple. Then, more importantly, from the society point of view, dream big, but also take the right actions to realize that dream.
Okay, one second. I I couldn't hear you very well. Suli, can you mute yourself?
I think there's some disturbance.
Yeah, Suli, can you mute yourself? Okay, Suli, can you mute yourself? Yeah. All right. I'm just trying to see if I can get because there is a disturbance. Suli, it's your mic. Suli, can you mute yourself? Okay, Remy, can you mute yourself as well? Awesome. All right, perfect. Anthony, now you're clear. Go on. Sorry. Can you repeat?
No worries. Yeah. So I think it's very important for advisors to know who is their target segment, know who they're
Okay.
serving. Yeah, have a specialization. And then when you have conversations with your clients, keep it simple. Yeah. And more importantly, I think in realizing dreams, right, you can dream big, but also have to take the right actions to realize the dream.
Okay, guys, something that Anthony is leaving you with, and I think this is very important, is please know your target audience. Don't try to be an advisor to anybody and everybody. Always be an advisor to somebody and choose who that somebody is. It's going to help you with your career. It's going to help you stay focused. It's going to help you stay motivated. Because if you're meeting people that you like, you're not going to be driven by, oh, I need to meet people, and you're tired. Fatigue that you enjoy is not fatigue. Please remember that. You spend a whole day playing with your friends, you come back home tired. You're actually not tired. You feel satisfied. And you will say, I had a great day. At the end of the day, you might feel tired, but you will say, I had a great day. That only happens if you're working with the right target market. You're working with people that you like. You will come back home and you'll say, I'm tired, but I had a great day. That's what I want every single one of you to feel in this business, because this business is a lifelong business. Suchitra, Remy just said that, right? This is a lifelong business. This is not a 1 year, 2 year pit stop. It is a career. It is a business. It is where you are an entrepreneur and you're going to stay in this business for a very long time. You're committing for a lifetime to your clients. Please remember, enjoy this process. Enjoy it thoroughly. Have fun. Don't worry too much. Don't panic. Stay focused. Don't let their bad energy affect you, right? Be satisfied. Be happy. Truly be happy. This business is a business of happiness. Spread the happiness and you be happy as well. That's very important, right? And guys, that can only happen if you work with the right people. So you choose who you work with. You give your best advice and you're ethical, so you don't have to worry about hiding things. And more importantly, you're becoming a specialist. Just like Suli just said, right? She's working with families which have children with special needs. Guys, really appreciate the time, and thank you for sharing. I mean, seriously, really, really nice of you to share and come on, and appreciate that. And Suli, I know you had technical problems, but that's absolutely fine. Thank you for the lovely advice you gave. Really appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. A
Thanks,
pleasure.
Dr. Jay.
Bye. All right, guys. So, coming back to our session, while you heard every single mentee of mine, I want you all to realize something, that they've chosen specialization. They've been in the business a very long time. 20 years, 24 years, 25 years, 30 years, 9 years, 10 years. They've been doing this for a while. You have to enjoy it. I want you all to think about this, right? That what are you doing? What are you spending your time doing? Please learn the rules of thumb. I've actually put them in the PDF. So please learn the rules of thumb, because a lot of people don't know how much life insurance to buy, how much critical illness to buy, how much money to save for retirement, how much money to save for your kids' education. I've written that down. I've made it simple. 4 simple rules to know how much to save, how much to buy. Very simple rules. I've put it down. It's also in the financial planning playbook. So if you want to share that with your clients, I've put down the rules of thumb in that book as well. I've also put down the 5 different types of assets, right? You only have 5 types of assets: equities, bonds, cash, commodities, and property. That's it. You only have 5 asset classes. Everything fits in one of these 5. If it's not in one of these 5, it's what we call a derivative. So please remember that, right? That you have 5 types of assets. I've written this down also in the book. Please get it. I'm giving it to you as a gift. You don't have to pay anything for that, right? Use it. How do you find the difference between asset accumulation and income accumulation? We had a long conversation on that. By the way, guys, if you have the 28,000 book, on page number 102, on page number 102 in the 28,000 book, you have the ABCD strategy for retirement. When to be aggressive, when to be balanced, when to be cautious, and how to be defensive. I call it the ABCD strategy: aggressive, balanced, cautious, defensive. It's in the 28,000 book, and I think it's also in the concept presentation playbook. So if you have access to that book, flip to those pages. Those are important guidelines that I've written down. By the way, all the books that I've written, I did not write for you. I wrote those for myself. Those are my personal notes, which we have basically converted into books so that every single one of you have got access to my notes. I've made a lot of mistakes. In the closing playbook, I've actually written down all the mistakes that I've made, right? Guys, As a mentor, the best thing I can do is share my notes with you. I'm not a trainer. Let me get that very clear. I'm not a trainer. I'm a mentor. And the difference between training and mentoring is training is module one, module two, module three, module four, right? And then you graduate. Mentoring is I'm doing this. What are you doing? Let's share best practices. What are the problems you have? What are the problems I have? We will share our problems and we'll find solutions together. Um, I might need your I might need your help in certain points. You might need my help. It's about having those conversations that are very important. There are six sources of income, right? Rental income, dividends from shares, pension from the social security, coupons from a bond portfolio, interest from fixed deposits, and number six, which everyone forgets, income from annuities and endowments. A lot of people have all these five, they're missing the number six. They have rental income. So I meet people who tell me, Sanjay, I have a property portfolio that gives me rental income and that's my retirement plan. That's great. You have one out of six, right? There are six income sources: rentals, dividends from stocks, coupons from a bond portfolio, pension from the social security, interest from fixed deposits, and income from endowments and annuities, right? I want you to think about that. Every single one of them has got pros and cons. I've actually written down the pros and cons of each type of income. It's in the financial planning playbook. Download it. I've actually written these down for you. If you are planning for 2026, right? I mean, we don't have a lot of time. We have really crossed time. But if you're planning for 2026, there are six steps that I need you to follow. Number one, I want you to think about what's your target for 2026. Step number one. What's your target for 2026? Number two, I want you to reverse engineer what your results is, right? So always think you have achieved it and then go backwards. How many cases you need to do? What's the premium you need to collect? And think about what is your production going to look like, right? So assume you've already achieved it and then work backwards on how you're going to achieve it, right? Number three, know your numbers. It's very important for you to know how many prospects you're meeting, what's your appointment ratio, what's your closing ratio, what's your average case size. Don't guess. Don't guess. Know your real numbers. All right. A lot of us guess. We assume my closing ratio is 20%. Don't guess. Know your numbers. Write it down. Document your production, document your strategy, right? Don't guess. Number four, allocate your year strategically, right? Know what's your strategy for Q1, what's your strategy for Q2. For example, my strategy for Q1 is focusing on protection and repositioning myself. I'm rebranding, I'm spending time on personal branding. How do you do personal branding? So by the way, all those of you who are coming for the mastermind on the 1st and 2nd of March in Dubai, I'm getting my personal branding coach to come in and share with you what my personal branding strategy is, right? So she's going to come in and she's going to share her ideas on PR, public relations, as well as personal branding. And this is my coach. So she's coming in. I've got 3 family offices coming in to share their strategy for how to run a family office and what are the things they discuss, what are the things they don't discuss. Um, I've got 3 government officials coming in. Sorry, 2 government officials coming in who work for the government, telling us about regulation, telling us what's changing in regulation, what's the concern that the government has, from financial advisors itself. So we've got a few regulators coming in. So all of you who are coming to the mastermind in Dubai on the 1st and 2nd of March, be ready. You're going to make a lot of notes. For those of you who are coming to the mastermind in Singapore, which is on the 6th and 7th of March, we've got family offices in Singapore. We've got fund managers in Singapore that are coming in and sharing what they look as the outlook, the economics of the markets, geopolitical risks. So we're going to be talking about geopolitics. We're going to be talking about what's changing in the market, regulation as well as taxes. How are we going to prepare for that? What are the things we need to tell our children? What are the things we need to tell our families? And they're coming in to discuss that. So on the 6th and 7th of March, in the mastermind, we will be having those discussions. We've got guests coming in. And please make sure that if you have not signed up for that, please make sure you come for that mastermind. Number 5, right? Decide your positioning. Are you working with young professionals? Are you working with business owners, corporate executives, families, emerging high net worth market, what we call mass affluence versus high net worth. By the way, a lot of people keep saying the word mass affluent. It's a terminology that only exists in, I've seen in Singapore, but reality, mass affluence and high net worths are quite similar, right? So I want you all to remember this. Step number six, the 20% upgrade rule. 80% of your income should come from your standard clients. Only 20% should be your risky or new type of clients. So you're trying to open up a new market, right? 80% of your revenue should come from your standard client base. Don't make too big a change, because if your income drops dramatically, right? Just make sure, right? Sorry, the Singapore Mastermind is on the 7th and 8th of March. My bad. Thank you, Tarampal. Appreciate that. Yes, the Singapore Mastermind is on 7th and 8th of March. Please be there. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to have a lot of very fun conversations in Singapore. And if you're coming to Dubai, you're going to get to meet a lot of people in Dubai as well. So, guys, I want you all to remember this, that every single one of you has the opportunity to become successful. 2026 is a brilliant year to start that opportunity. It's a brilliant year to start that journey. How do you start that journey? Follow these 6 steps. These 6 steps will put you on the right track. And just like Anthony said, stay focused. Sometimes we don't feel motivated, but if you have a disciplined schedule, right, you will get through that bad day. You'll get through that day when you don't feel the motivation. Not every day is a day that you feel motivated. That happens. Just remember, stay focused. 2026 is your year of success. And the only question you have to answer today is, are you willing to make that change? Are you willing to commit to yourself? Are you willing to become the best version of yourself? If you're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach. Please remember that. I'm willing to teach if you are willing to learn. If you're in Dubai, please do come and visit us. Would love to spend some time with you. I am busy, so if I'm not in Dubai, I'm sorry about that. But 2025, I missed my target. So I'm a little upset with myself. I'm staying extremely focused. My target last year was to do 500 top of the table. I only achieved 298, so I really missed my target. I'm a little upset with myself, but I mean, it's done, right? 2025 is over. I'd rather focus on 2026. Stay focused, guys. I truly look forward to spending time with you. And if you have learned something today, share it with other people. Please share it with everyone, and it'll be an absolute pleasure to share even more. Stay safe, God bless, and stay focused.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. And yeah, that's wonderful parting words. And thank you, everybody, for attending Kickstart Foundational. Sorry, I forgot the name of today's session, actually. Kickstart Financial Foundation 2026. This is the start of the year. We're only in February, only about halfway through February. You still have 10 and a half months to reach all your goals, reach all your dreams, and do as best as you can for 2026. You're already starting amazingly by attending this session, and we thank you again for spending your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are around the world with Dr. Sanjay Tulani and the team. Thank you again for all our panelists, our speakers here today. All of you provided wonderful advice from most of you, of course, veterans in the market, talking about specializations, talking about things that you will change, wonderful quick tidbits as well, which I absolutely love, especially from Sarah. And just a few more announcements. Again, I'll repeat myself. If you are interested in joining our asset structuring club, that is I think an annual subscription, annual membership, sorry. You'll get access to 5 online sessions, with the next one happening in March. We'll be talking about 30 high net worth prospecting triggers. So you can find out more about that. That's also available in the PDF notes to go and find out more. Next is Advisor X7. This is Dr. Sanjay Tulani, pretty much like an AI clone, right? His entire brain, his choice of words, the advice that he will give you it's like you're messaging him, right? Like you're messaging him directly. That is available also to for you if you're interested to go find out more about it. It's available in the PDF notes. I think there's also a QR code available here to go and check out. And last but not least, the BCC Mastermind sessions happening in Dubai on the 1st and 2nd of March, and in Singapore on the 7th and 8th of March. If you're already in BCC, this is a reminder for you to join us. But if you are not in BCC yet and you would like to find out more about BCC or even join the session immediately, you can also find out how to join us. There is an interview process. Not everybody gets into BCC just because you want to. It is pretty stringent, actually. But if you are interested, you really think that this is that will help you hit your next breakthrough, let us know. Reach out to the team, and hopefully we will be also we'll also be able to see you in the upcoming sessions, either in Singapore and in Dubai. All right. And there's also the book bundle. If you are interested in the book bundle, this is a physical hard copy books shipped over to you. That's at mentor.sanjaytolani.com/bundle order forms. You'll get 4 books for $119 and also an additional 4-hour prospecting video sent to you via email. And thank you. Again, don't forget to get your free book, the free financial planning ebook. It's also available for you. And thank you so much for joining us this evening. It is 10:20 p.m. in Singapore time. Again, thank you everybody for joining, and all the best for 2026. My name is Haraz, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.